I'm Doug Brown. NBA trades today. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports the Timberwolves get Rudy Gobert from Utah. The Jazz get 4 players and 4 first-round picks. The Celtics get point guard Malcolm Brogdon from the Pacers. Indiana gets 5 players and a first-round pick next year. And the Kings get guard Kevin Huerter from the Hawks. Atlanta gets Justin Holiday, Mo Harkless, and a future first-rounder. ESPN's Nick Friedel believes even if Kevin Durant wins titles somewhere else, his legacy will take a hit.
There is always going to be almost an asterisk around the fact that he didn't do it on his own in the same place with the same team.
Nick Friedel on Canty and Carlin. Yusuf Nurkic will stay with the Trailblazers. Ricky Rubio will stay with the Cavaliers. Medical examiners in Maryland say Ravens linebacker Jalen Ferguson died from the combined effects of fentanyl and cocaine. Ferguson died 10 days ago. His funeral will be tomorrow in Louisiana.
When you're trying to hire, all that searching, screening, and interviewing can become its own job. You need Indeed, the end-to-end hiring solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt. I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Alondra Villaria. And Mr. Joe Jumper. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Heading into a 4th of July weekend. Hope you and yours are going to have a great one if you're traveling right now. Be safe wherever you're going. If you're listening to us on a beach somewhere, thanks for being here with us. So we're happy to be here. Theriot 1 hour from right now. Jay Johnson will be with us in hour 3, so really looking forward to that. The gigantic news on Thursday, of course, was that USC and UCLA have shaken up the college football landscape again as they are headed to the Big Ten. Their application for formal admission to the league has been submitted and accepted. So both UCLA and USC, now formally, it is done. They are headed to the Big Ten for 2024. Remember, the current Pac-12 media rights deal expires in 2023. So 2024, they will be able to leave and join the Big Ten with no penalty because the media rights deal will have already expired. So heady play there, timing-wise, for USC and UCLA. The big question where we left it a day ago is, well, what kind of is next? And John Wilner of the San Jose Mercury News, who broke the story initially of USC and UCLA, also suggested via sources that the Big Ten might not be done. So the focus immediately shifted to, okay, what schools might then also from the Pac-12 leave for the Big Ten? And everyone suggested Oregon and Washington. And then reports came that they did, in fact, reach out. Those two schools did, in fact, reach out to the Big Ten. To gauge interest. Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports earlier this afternoon, just a couple hours ago, tweeted via sources. As you would expect, all of this information is going to be anonymously sourced. You just decide who you trust and who you believe has good information. So Dennis Dodd tweeted, Oregon and Washington have been told by the Big Ten that it is standing pat for now, waiting on a decision by Notre Dame. Okay. So I'll come back to the Notre Dame piece here in just a quick second. The Pac-12 has now released a statement. Remember, USC, UCLA, no longer part of it, so it's 10 schools collectively. The Pac-12 statement reads, 2 lines. The Pac-12 Board of Directors met this morning and authorized the conference to explore all expansion options. The 10 university presidents and chancellors remain committed to a shared mission of academic and athletic excellence on behalf of our student athletes. So, 2 things that are relevant there. Number 1, Pac-12 wants to expand. They want to add members to replace UCLA and USC. Also, 10, meaning Washington and Oregon, would be in that mix. Now, they are also only in that mix so far as they don't have a better option, because should a better option present, it is very obvious what would happen. They would take that option. I will say it this way. Why try to rebuild a sinking ship when a yacht is passing you by saying, hey, you want to go for a ride? No, I'm good. I'm good here on the sinking dinghy. We're going to try to duct tape the hull together to stay afloat. We're going to grab a San Diego State and a Boise State and a UNLV to try to keep us afloat. But look, the steaks and caviar on your yacht look awesome, though. Really, all the best to you, but we're good here. Come on. So you know where it's headed. If a better opportunity comes to those schools, they're gone. This is the other part that's fascinating from Dennis Dodd. Dennis Dodd, in his piece at CBS Sports, writes, for now, there is no interest from the Big 12 to take any Pac-12 schools. When a chance presented itself Thursday for the Big 12 Board of Directors to discuss these developments, one high-ranking Big 12 official said, why? Oh. The thing that would make the most sense is that if the Big 12 and the Pac-12 collectively, with whatever schools they have that have the most brand cachet, if they combine to form a league that could compete, you would be talking about Baylor, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, TCU, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Arizona, Arizona State, Cal, Colorado, Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, Washington State, Stanford, Utah. Like, if they all got together and tried to create a league of the power players, that might be able to work. But apparently the Big 12 is not interested. Now, back to the issue of Notre Dame. Remember, Notre Dame plays in the ACC in everything except football. They're an independent football. We all know that. It is written in Notre Dame's contract with the ACC that if Notre Dame football joins a conference, they must join the ACC. So the Big Ten could try to go lure Notre Dame, but it's going to be to no avail. Notre Dame is contractually beholden to join the ACC if they join a league. But remember, there's 2 reasons why Notre Dame has always maintained their independence. As long as these 2 things are true. Number 1, if they have a solo media rights deal, which they do with NBC, which expires in a couple of years, and no doubt they'll be able to, with all of the different media platforms, someone is going to pay Notre Dame a lot of money for their rights. And if they have access to the college football playoff, as long as those 2 things are aligned, Notre Dame doesn't want to join a conference. Well, they're going to get a rights deal, and the college football playoff is going to expand, so it's going to be even easier for Notre Dame to get into the playoff. So I don't think Notre Dame is joining a conference. Maybe I'll be wrong with that, and the landscape of college football could change, as it has certainly, and maybe something therein changes. But as long as those are the 2 things that Notre Dame covets the most, those 2 things will still be in place, if not even more so, more solidly than they are today. So I don't see Notre Dame joining a league. Does the Big Ten then in turn go back to Oregon and Washington and say, all right, come on? I don't know. The other thing to keep in mind, And so many of you over the last 24 hours have talked about Clemson and Florida State, Miami and North Carolina and Virginia Tech and all those schools about potentially joining the SEC. Two things. One of them I explained yesterday, which is you only add a school if they're going to grow the pot enough to where everybody's share increases. You don't just, there isn't necessarily strength in numbers, it's strength in quality of numbers. Clemson, while you think Clemson geographically, as far as football, it makes a lot of sense competitively. Financially, Clemson does nothing for you. You're already in the state of South Carolina. Clemson isn't a big giant brand like Texas is. Clemson really financially doesn't do anything for you. That's one thing. Number two, the ACC just renewed their media rights through 2036. Y'all, 2036. Consider the reason Texas and Oklahoma aren't already in the SEC is because to come before 2025, when their rights expire, it would cost those schools $80 million. Now, Texas could pay it. Oklahoma's having trouble getting out of it because they'd have to finance $80 million. I mean, Texas could write that check 1,000 times over and never blink. But they're going to come together whenever they do. You're talking 2036, a decade beyond that. You're talking about an exit fee well north of 9 figures. None of those schools can or will pay that type of exit fee. So the ACC, oddly, is stable because they got their schools by the yin-yang. What could happen is they could redistribute how they allocate their funds. Instead of everybody getting an equal share, and the Big 12 did this. Texas and OU had gotten a higher share. The ACC could do the same. The ACC could decide we're going to give Clemson and Miami and Florida State a bigger piece of the pie and sort of tier it. Because there's no reason that Clemson should be getting the same amount of money as Duke. Flatly. So as long as that's the reality with the length of the contract, the ACC schools aren't going anywhere short term. But if the ACC really wants to protect itself long term, they will consider how they distribute their media rights fees. It's a fascinating time, and I do want to. We are going to take a shot at this as well because my belief is, and I share this with many people, that we are headed for one college football. Right now, that looks like the NFL, invite only, top 40 teams or so. I don't believe every team in the Power 5 will be invited. Like Rutgers, Duke, Vandy. Sorry, like you're not going to be invited, but whatever number that is, you will have a college football structured how you want, regionally, divisions. I don't know. They'll figure it out just like the NFL has with 32 teams. Like they'll figure it out. But we're headed for that. What I want to take a look at is what schools are ultimately that are currently in the air quote Power 5 that are going to be left out. We'll get to that. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. You know you can join us. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. You can always text us in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Heading into a 4th of July weekend. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Lots of ways to get involved. Theriot in about 45 minutes from right now, so we got a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana, and yes, they are closed on the 4th of July. We're heading into a holiday weekend, but you still have time right now to call Insurance Network of Louisiana to let them get started on saving you money, getting you better coverage for less money. How about this? Adam wrote an AFR listener. Guy had been with Allstate for 18 years. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Allstate for 18 years. For what he needed, coverage limits were adequate. No adjustments were needed, but they spent quite a bit of time going over their homeowner insurance, and they ended up saving $1,700 annually on auto, moved his homeowners and flood as well, but got better coverage and saved $1,700 over the course of a year. What if you could save that much or more on your insurance? You won't know until you call. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. and we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
I got a text into the show from Nate Coles, who said Notre Dame will, all caps, join a conference. One college football, whatever. Okay, that's fantastic. You've given me absolutely no logic behind your take. I mean, I spent 10 minutes in the last segment catching you up on where the power brokers of college football are and then telling you Notre Dame's lot. Like, they are contractually obligated to join the ACC if they join a league. They're going to have their own TV deal still, so there's no reason to join the ACC. And when the college football playoff expands, they will have an even easier path to the playoff. The two things that Notre Dame, their administration, has openly stated why they maintain their independence are, if nothing else, even more solidified today than they were. No, but I'm sure you nailed it though, because you think they'll join a conference. Like, tell me why. Like, give me some logical reason why. Because contractually, financially, competitively, it doesn't make any sense for them to join a league. And I don't think they will. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. LSU announced an additional opponent to their non-conference schedule. Now, all of these announcements like this become even more interesting considering the current landscape of college football and the evolving landscape of college football, because we know Texas and Oklahoma are coming into the league in 2025, perhaps sooner, and the SEC schedule format is very likely going to change and very likely expand from its current 8 games to 9 games. So if you're scheduling games, non-conference games, for the future, now, not knowing what your conference schedule is going to look like, you're either really brash, you have a pretty good feeling you know what's going to happen with the non-conference schedule. So that's why this is interesting. So specifically with the news today, LSU has added Louisiana Tech for the 2025 season. This would be the home opener. So in 2025, LSU opens the season on the road at Clemson. So they will open at Clemson, then come home against Louisiana Tech. That's how LSU will open, is scheduled right now to open the 2025 season. What's noteworthy, 2025, you will have minimum a 16-team SEC that includes Texas and Oklahoma. So it is widely believed the SEC is going to go to a 9-game schedule and a 3-6 model. 3 permanent opponents, 6 rotating opponents. You play the 6 one year and then rotate the other 6 the next year, home and away, home and away. So, which, by the way, I love that. You maintain the ridiculous rivalries that some of these foolish schools care so much about. And the flip side of it is that you get to play over a 4-year span, every school home and away over a 4-year span. I love it. Okay. But one of the big questions is, would you still be mandated? Because right now the SEC mandates in an 8-game league schedule, you have to play a Power 5 non-conference. If you move to a 9-game schedule, would you still have to play a Power 5 non-conference? There's a big question about the future of these FCS games. Like, would the SEC still allow an FCS opponent on the schedules? Or would you just schedule, or would you be still mandated to schedule a Power 5 non-conference opponent? Well, if you look at it here, and you operate under the assumption that in 2025, there will be a 9-game SEC schedule. So if you're playing 12 games, 9 of, like LSU's schedule is effectively set. You're going to play your 9 league games, Clemson, Louisiana Tech, Western Kentucky. You're done. So, again, we're reading the tea leaves a little bit here, but what's interesting is essentially this means you're keeping your Power 5 non-conference opponent. So you'd play 9 conference games and a Power 5 non-conference opponent. So that would be 10 Power 5 games of the 12. And then you'd have Louisiana Tech and Western Kentucky. So you'd have 2 non-conference opponents outside of the Power 5, but neither of them in the FCS. So if we are purging FCS games out of the schedule, great. Nobody needs to see LSU and Southern. No disrespect to Southern. They're just the one on LSU's schedule this year. Whoever it is. Which, McNeese, name it. It doesn't matter. Nobody needs to see FBS against FCS. They're terrible games. They're a complete money grab. All this non-conference foolishness is nothing but a gate receipt and money grab, and it's awful. I would love to get rid of that. What this shows, if this is the model, you're creeping closer to a schedule which is going to be full of games that you actually care to see. 9 conference games, a Power 5 non-conference opponent, 10 of the 12 would be Power 5 opponents. Your other 2 non-conference games are group of 5 teams. In this case, Louisiana Tech, Western Kentucky. Those are not appealing, but it's better than watching an FCS opponent. My single biggest question, actually, is if college football even makes it to this format. Like, ultimately, with the power move that the SEC made last year, adding Texas and Oklahoma, and now with the Big Ten's counter in adding UCLA and USC, something else is coming. Like if you rewind the clock 10 years, when that big realignment happened, when Nebraska and Maryland went to the Big Ten, and Colorado and Utah went to the Pac-12, and Texas A&M and Missouri came to the SEC. Well, the first move started the shuffling of the deck. Well, it's going to happen again. you've had Texas, Oklahoma. Now you've got USC, UCLA. Well, the Big 12, the Pac-12 has told you they're exploring expansion options. The Big 12 is welcoming in BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, UCF. By the way, do you think they regret that now? The Big 12 is now sitting there. You lose Texas and Oklahoma. You add 4 little brothers, which combined don't equal the productivity of one of the schools that you lost. Now, you would have had the opportunity to go maybe partner with the Pac-12, but now you're saddled with these 4 little brothers. What do you do? It's a tough spot for them. But, you're going to have more movement as a result of last summer's news and yesterday's news. It's going to continue to happen. So, do we even get to a situation in 2025 where LSU plays Louisiana Tech? Or does the one college football thing that I keep talking about, call it whatever you want, or is that in place already? 2025 may be premature. USC, UCLA will be in the Big Ten in 2024. Oklahoma and Texas will be in the SEC at the latest by 2025, unless if they're able to get out and get into the SEC early, which many believe they will. At that point, you're going to have an expanded college football playoff, undeniably, when that schedule ends, if not before. Do we even see a schedule like this? Does that Louisiana Tech game here ever get played? Does LSU ever go to Clemson and play the game in 2025? It's fascinating how it's all unfolding right now. But LSU made the announcement, 2025, Louisiana Tech. But the bigger picture there is clearly what that tells you about how the SEC views what the schedule will look like, what the future SEC schedules will look like. All right, we're brought to you by Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. My goodness, it was storming today. Pulled up here at the radio station earlier today. It was a deluge, and all I could think is there's a lot of homes right now getting water in them. I guess that's just the way my brain's programmed right now. If you have not had a roofing inspection lately, if you need a roofing inspection, or if unfortunately you're already seeing water spots on the ceiling, give us a shout at Hudco Roofing. 20 years in Louisiana, Louisiana-owned, Louisiana-operated, Louisiana-run, Louisiana products. We use CertainTeed shingles out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. As a matter of fact, had someone today who texted me on my text line and said, Matt, have a rental property. We got a roof leak. Can your guys from Hudco come take a look? It was actually Ida damage. Our 1 year from Ida is about to come up, so we need to get moving on this. I said, absolutely. Said, send me the address, your email, your phone number. Boom, got one of our inspectors in touch. Boom, set up the inspection. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Commercial or residential, roof repairs, roof replacements, even new construction. You have a roofing issue, we'd love to help. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. All right, it's after further review. We'll go around the SEC. Coming up here, Theriot in 32 minutes from right now. I did take a stab at this, and I don't know if I have time to get into all of it right now. Maybe we'll do it next hour with Theriot. But I printed out the list of all of the current Power 5 schools, okay, not including the 4 little brothers that are joining the Big 12. But as it stands today, the Power 5 conferences and all the schools, and I try to take a stab at who will absolutely be in a conglomerate of college football and who's going to get left out. I'll run through this list coming up in a little bit because I'll tell you what I think. I'm curious to know what you think where I might be missing it, because there's some that are easy on both sides, like Alabama, LSU, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, USC, UCLA. There are blue bloods of college football that are undeniably in. And then you have the bottom feeders, the Duke, Wake Forest, Vanderbilt, Kansas, where you're like, nah, we're good. You're not actually bringing any value. The tricky part is, what do you do with Texas Tech? What do you do with Arizona? What do you do with Washington State? What do you do with Baylor? What do you do with Syracuse, Boston College? You know what I mean? The schools that are in the Power 5, but they're not really good. I mean, they don't really bring you anything. Like, do you lop them all off on the bottom? How exclusive does that club get? That's going to be a big conversation. We'll have it coming up here in a little bit. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a break. We'll go around the SEC when we come back next, and Theriot in 30 minutes. Stick around.
AFR.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
So this was to be completely expected, but a little definition around it now. Shams earlier today tweeting Pelican star Zion Williamson nearing a 5-year rookie max contract extension worth up to $231 million. The commitment will take Williamson's new deal through the 27-28 season. So Zion and the Pels close to a deal. There are many incentives in there. For example, being all pro. We'll get all the definition around the contract once it's signed and done, and all the details are out. But there's I know there's a lot of skepticism from fans largely about star players signing those contracts. Number one, if you're the New Orleans, you absolutely sign Zion Williamson to that contract. He is a max player. That's easy. David Griffin said as much. You just have to put protections in there in case that he is injury prone and can't be on the floor. You put incentives in there for him to perform at the level that he certainly is capable. So it looks like they will do that. If you're Zion, of course you sign that contract. Whenever a lot was made of Zion saying, I couldn't sign it fast enough. I told you that. I'll tell you now. It's $231 million. NBA contracts are guaranteed. Of course he's going to run to sign a $231 million extension if they offer it to him. The big question becomes, do you end up in a situation like you did with Chris Paul and Anthony Davis prior, where you had a superstar player on floundering teams that ultimately forced their way out? And the answer is maybe. But I think you would probably agree with this, I feel more confident about the future of this organization now than I have at any point that they've been in New Orleans. And I don't think that that's lacking context. I remember what it felt like in 2008 when you had Chris Paul and you had the Crescent City connection and you had a couple of all-stars on that team, and you won a series against Dallas and you took the Spurs to 7 games. But you were still very clearly a star player away, and you couldn't get that star player here. With Anthony Davis, it was the same thing. You had Anthony Davis and you had Drew Holiday. You had a couple of all-star players, but you were always missing that piece. Well, now you've got it. You've got it. In the trade for C.J. McCollum, you have Brandon Ingram and now Zion. You have your big three. And then all of the support pieces in place who are the role players on this team are young and exciting, and you could really think about how they flourish. And then you just added a top 10 pick, and you're going to get Kyra Lewis back. And there's just never been a reason to be this optimistic about the team. I'm not telling you I think they win a championship this year, but I'm telling you I've never been more optimistic about the possibility of the New Orleans franchise. I say the New Orleans franchise, of course, because, either Hornets or Pels winning an NBA title than I do right now with this current construct of the team. The head coach in Willie Green, the staff he's put in place, the front office, the young talent, the drafted players, getting Zion healthy. I feel like this is your shot to keep this core in place and make it happen. So, we'll see how it plays out, and I get why it's uneasy. Kevin Durant has forced his way out of 3 spots now. I get why you look and you go, look, star players are unhappy. They move in the NBA. It's what they do. I get it. They hold a lot of the cards, which is why culture matters a lot. And you want to get guys who want to stay where you are. And it looks like they're working hard to build that in New Orleans because you have to, because it's harder. In LA, in New York, you're always going to be able, in Miami, you're always going to be able to attract high-priced free agents because those are destination, not only towns, but franchises. New Orleans isn't. Let's just call it what it is. New Orleans isn't. You're going to have to build a different way, and they're doing that right now with an architect who's built a championship franchise in a Midwestern city in Cleveland that wasn't a destination, but they built it around LeBron. And here they'll build it around their big three in their core right now, and it looks like they're on their way to doing that. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. I want to give a big shout-out to Dr. Todd Howell. And, I know I've mentioned many times that Aesthetic went to the National Aesthetic Show out in Vegas and won the National Aesthetic Practice, the nation's best aesthetic practice. Like right here in Louisiana, voted the nation's best aesthetic practice. It's incredible the work they do. But Dr. Howell, he's a medical doctor. His background is in emergency medicine. He opened up the aesthetic clinic. He has won national awards for his HD Vaser lipo procedure. And all this month, all throughout July, you can save $1,500 on that procedure. You can learn more at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, or online at theantiagingclinics.com. All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Ole Miss Rebels.
Derek Diamond, Knox Leposer, and Drew McDaniel, they're all on the move. They've entered the transfer portal. Diamond went from being Ole Miss's Friday night starter this year to not making an appearance in the College World Series. Meanwhile, Drew McDaniel started 7 of his 15 appearances. He finished with an ERA north of 6. And Knox Leposer, he started 1 game this season at catcher. That was against Alcorn State. All 3 are in the portal.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
Big get for Kirby Smart today. Daniel Harris becomes the 13th commit for Georgia's 2023 class. Harris is the nation's 19th best cornerback, the number 151 overall prospect in the 247 composite. For what it's worth, On3 Sports rates him as the 39th best prospect of any position in the country. Georgia beat out Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State for Harris.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
State Hoops landed a basketball transfer commit on Friday from Southern Miss transfer Tyler Stevenson. Stevenson played 4 years for the Golden Eagles, and he was a stud. He was their leading scorer each of the last 2 years. He's a 6'8 forward, averaged 14 and 7 this past year in Hattiesburg. Stevenson originally committed to play his 5th season at University of Illinois Chicago, but on Friday flipped that commitment to Mississippi State.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Toby Arwaka, 6'8", 235-pound New York power forward, has committed to Tennessee. Forgive me, he committed in May as a 2023 prospect, but today he reclassified for 2022 and he signed with the Vols. So, pick the Vols over Maryland, St. John's, and Pitt. Arwaka is the 5th signee in Tennessee's 2022 recruiting class. Vols have 1 roster spot open after Arwaka joins the 2022 class. There you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends Gulf Coast Office Products online at Paulie, that was close. Almost gave you a haircut right there. GCOPnet.com, GCOPnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales service after the sale, that's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products. A national leader among Savin dealers, but they will service all makes and models. And remember, they've got offices in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, the North Shore, and Lafayette. It's Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, and the ULL Ragin' Cajuns. You've probably heard this story if you've been kind of locked in today to ESPN television or on SportsCenter, but we do have some finality in the death of Ravens outside linebacker Jalen Ferguson, of course, who was a Louisiana Tech star, finished his career as college football's career sack leader with 45. He was a third-round pick of the Ravens in 2019. He died 10 days ago, found dead in his home in Maryland. Well, we now know that his death has been ruled accidental. He was 26 years old. He died of the combined effects of fentanyl and cocaine. Fentanyl is something that is often given as a painkiller in hospitals, but fentanyl and cocaine were found in his system. Foul play was not intimated. It was ruled an accident. 26 years old. His funeral will be Saturday here in Louisiana, in Baines, Louisiana, where he grew up. Just a very, very sad story. 3 children, all under the age of 5, that'll all grow up without their dad now. Terribly sad story. So condolences to the family and those close to Jalen Ferguson, but we now know the cause of death. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out our final break here of hour number 1. We'll come back, do Tigers and the Pros. Theriot's here in 17 minutes. Stick around.
AFR.
All right, y'all, holiday weekend is upon us. You got a full slate of Major League Baseball games, actually, with a bunch of matinees going on right now. You want to watch them all, you can do so at Pluckers. Maybe you're playing hooky, getting off of work a little bit early here in advance of the 4th of July weekend. Get on by Pluckers, get the weekend started off right. Nicholson, just south of campus, or Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. You've got, look, Red Sox, Cubs, Rays, Blue Jays going on right now. You got more games starting in an hour and 15 minutes from right now. So get on by Pluckers. All out-of-market games. Whatever your favorite team is, you can watch every game all season long at Pluckers and enjoy award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Remember, Pluckers was voted a top 10 wing restaurant in America by USA Today, top 5 sports bar by ESPN. It's Pluckers. Wall-to-wall TVs, award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, and a full-service bar. What more in the world could you possibly want? It's at Pluckers if you don't like our wings. We'll give you the bird.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Armstrong.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Yeah, there's more news around the NBA as free agency has begun. The Jazz are trading Rudy Gobert to Minnesota for 4 first-round picks. Incredible, but the reshuffling in the NBA among the power players is going on. So we'll keep you posted if anything there does in fact happen that's relevant here for New Orleans. All right, Theriot is going to be with us in 12 minutes from right now. I'm going to get some of your emails, your tweets, your texts to me about the college football realignment stuff. So I'll get to that in a moment. Right now, though, because obviously Theriot is here next hour, Alondra has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
All right, real quick before I get started, I just want to say, Matt, thank you so much for letting me come in and fill in for Musso. I really appreciate it.
I'm honored to let you work.
Yes, thank you.
You've done a great job.
For bearing with me while I make my way through all this, but yes.
You've done a great job.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Working with me is not easy, I know.
It's no problem.
Well,
no problem at all.
I am demanding, I know that. But you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Except for when you try to give golf scores. But
I have another golf score for you today.
But life is a learning experience.
It is.
And we all hope that throughout our experience, we gain and we learn and we progress and we evolve. So my hope is that today, when you update us on how Curtis Thompson is doing, and might I also add as a random aside, we would not even be getting a Curtis Thompson update if Muso were here, because Muso hates Curtis Thompson. When you give us a Curtis Thompson update today, I think you're going to nail it. Okay, so take it away.
All right. Last night, Alex Bregman was pretty clutch for the Astros. He went 1 for 3 with a double out to left field, which scored the only 2 runs of the game that night. And DJ LeMahieu, he didn't really have that good of a game. He was 1 for 4 with 1 hit and 2 strikeouts. Astros get the win there. 2-1. Rizzo did hit a solo bomb in the 6th, but it just was not.
Rizzo's not a tie.
I know,
right.
but I'm giving you a little rundown. It just wasn't enough to get the Yankees going there. The Phillies demolished the Braves last night. I'm sorry, Paul. Aaron Nola started that game. He pitched 7 innings, giving up 7 hits, 2 of those being home runs. 4 runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. Aaron Nola gets the win with the Phillies, 14-4.
Yeah, really nice performance there by Nola. I did watch some of that. They wore those ugly baby blue uniforms, too.
Oh, those are horrible.
They're bad.
All right, Curtis Thompson.
There we go.
He's tied for 30th in the John Deere Classic.
That's what T30 means.
And
yesterday he was T6.
He was T6, but now he's T30. Yeah, not doing too hot, but he is. It did say 4 under with a 67 still.
Okay.
And on the website it said 311 with an asterisk mark on it. And I don't really know what that means.
Alondra.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Is that his tea time?
Maybe so.
Hold on. I'm looking to see.
You guys, it's golf. That's the one thing I don't know. It's fine.
All right, hold on. Curtis Thompson. You said he was tied for 30th?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Last I looked, he was.
Alondra.
I know.
Okay, no. Right now, he is tied for 44th.
Okay.
He is 3 under for the tournament. He's finished. He was 2 over for the day. Not
sure what that 311.
No, he's not finished. He's only through 2. I don't know which. No, 311 was his tee time.
Okay.
So he teed off at 311.
Okay.
So he's only through 2 holes.
He
was 3 under par yesterday. He's 1 over for the day today through 2 holes.
Yeah. So golf is just my week. I'm not. Yeah. Top golf is fun, but
Okay.
Michael Papierski.
311 was his tee time.
Okay, great.
So that's so you know now. That's when he's teeing off. So he's only through 2 holes right now.
All right.
Got it.
Michael Papierski got his first start with the Reds last night.
Improving. We just hit new roadblocks. All right, anyway, go ahead.
Oh man. All right. Michael Papierski.
Yes.
Pap. He got his first start with the Reds last night. He went 2 for 4.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah,
Pap.
he went 2 for 4, had
Hell
2 hits and 1 run and 1 strikeout. So go Pap. He's also starting in the lineup in today's game. Good for him.
Just hit. I'm telling you, Pap defensively is he is an everyday big leaguer. He just has to hit.
Come on, Pap.
Just a scotch.
Yeah.
You just can't be over.
Yeah.
I mean, a 2 for 4
he went 2 for 4.
It's massive, man.
And had 1 run.
Massive.
Good for him. Those are your Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged and has done so for 40 years. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, corporate in Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana, but 9 locations in all. Lafayette, New Orleans, Shreveport, even outside of the state of Louisiana. You can check them out online at lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Sean texted the show and said, speaking of realignment, but isn't it fun when Sunbelt schools beat a Power 5? And he mentioned he mentioned App State beating Michigan, but that wasn't a Sunbelt school. Troy beating LSU, ULM beating Bama, ULL beating Iowa State. No, it's not fun when that happens. It's largely the product of a Power 5 team overlooking a little brother because they don't care about a game that's scheduled that's nothing but a gate receipt there. And those aren't the things that drive revenue the same way that while everybody loves the Cinderellas in the early rounds of the NCAA tournament, that's not what drives revenue of the tournament. ultimately what's going to drive a Final Four is not George Mason in the Final Four, is not Loyola of Chicago in the Final Four. It's when you have Duke and North Carolina and Kansas and Villanova in your Final Four. That's the makings of the highest-rated Final Four ever. So, blue bloods, that's what sells, and that's what will sell in the new college football as it moves forward. And all of the little schools can continue playing football and doing so according to what their budget should be instead of relying on body bag games to fund themselves and things they can't afford. Stop living on credit card debt, bro. Spend what you make. Save for retirement. Be fiscally responsible. All right, Theriot's in studio next. Looking forward to having him back. It's been a minute. The Riot Radio Hours. That's on deck. Stick around.
AFR.
Brought to you by Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138. 288-8138. 288-8138. Or ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, and siding. I talk all the time about the energy-efficient replacement windows. I talk all the time about the beautiful entry doors. What I probably don't tell you enough about is their hardy plank and vinyl siding. There's so many reasons to install siding at your home. If you hate painting, if you hate the idea of paying to paint your house, never do it again. Just install hardy plank or vinyl siding. Not only is it energy efficient, it's low maintenance, it's weather resistant, and it has long-lasting quality. You can see pictures of their work. You can learn more. You can ask questions. Read reviews at ReliefWindows.com. ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138. 288-8138. Or ReliefWindows.com. Remember, at Relief Windows, experience, quality, and service is what they talk about. And you never pay $1 until you're thrilled with the work that they do. ReliefWindows.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2021 Jeep Wranglers and Jeep Gladiators on our lot now with $5,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. 3 notable NBA trades reported by ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski today. The Jazz send center Rudy Gobert to the Timberwolves. Utah gets 4 players and 4 first-round picks. The Celtics pick up point guard Malcolm Brogdon from the Pacers. Indiana gets 5 players and a first-round pick next year. And Sacramento gets guard Kevin Huerter from Atlanta. The Hawks get 2 players and a future first-rounder. The Nets will try to work out a deal to get Kevin Durant out of town, but ESPN's Jay Williams says Brooklyn should only be thinking about making the best deal they can make.
A lot of draft capital on young players, or wherever that is, I'm doing whatever in the best interest of what direction I want to move my franchise. I'm not worried about making KD or Kyrie happy. They weren't worried about making it work for us. Why am I trying to make it work for them?
Jay Williams on KJ and Max. The Pac-12 announcing today they will explore all expansion options after learning of the bombshell departures of USC and UCLA in 2024.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
I would have never guessed that Kevin Durant would have had Kyrie's back to that degree after everything that's happened.
Get more from the guys Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios.
That's right.
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You
Picture better reload.
After further review,
don't turn
the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
104.5, 104.9 ESPN Baton Rouge, 100.3 ESPN New Orleans.
This is legit, dude. Check me out. I got camo paint on my face.
Ryan Theriot hitless in 4 at-bats.
When it's 20 degrees, Matt, and you're sitting in a deer stand, it's freezing cold.
Okay,
you
I'm
need
talking,
a beanie on your head.
Our weekly visit with Ryan Theriot is brought to you by Bowie Outfitters. Bowie Outfitters, your home for everything outdoors.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
What did you just say?
You didn't play yours. I didn't hear it.
I did play it. You want to play it again?
Glad you are as well. Making a good one. Yeah,
hey, right.
That was such an aggressive.
I'm back.
That look what you did to the Celevate can. You spun the Celevate can around. I mean, it's normally like that. You spun it all the way around. You were so aggressive in your.
Got some new headphones. What is this all about? This feels good.
Where did those headphones come from? Those are really nice Sony headphones.
They're good,
Paulie,
Paul.
any idea? No. Paul's not even grabbing his mic. Doesn't even want to talk. Okay.
Appreciate you, Paulie.
Don't worry, Paul. Just an auditory medium. Just
good talk.
Need to be always good talk. How are you?
I'm doing well.
We did this show I think 3 weeks ago, and then you were somewhere and you just called in for a segment. Where were you?
3 weeks ago.
We did the show 3 weeks ago. Alondra, do you remember?
I think Houston had surgery.
Oh, that's right. Houston had surgery. And so you call. That's right.
Houston did have
That's
surgery.
it.
No, that was
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Right. No. So listen to me. So we did the segment 3 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago, I was on vacation. 3 weeks ago, we did the segment. 2 weeks ago, Houston had surgery, so you just called in for a segment.
Yeah.
And then last week you were. Last week I was in New York. So we.
And I don't do the show if you're not.
No.
here.
I know that well. I know that well and good. Yes, I know. I'm well aware now. So we didn't do it last week. So it's been 3 weeks since you and I have been here and done the segment together. So it's nice to see you again.
Yeah, man.
And so 4 of the last 5 we haven't, because remember I was at the beach. So 4 of the last 5 we have not been here together.
Yeah, and then the beat, like, you weren't here, so I don't.
Right. I'm aware. Like,
Yeah.
you lied to Muso and said you didn't feel good when
Yeah,
really you just weren't showing up. I mean, I know your game.
I got to sit next to Muso.
Well,
for
I feel
2
bad,
hours.
but I feel bad for Muso because you said you were coming.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh,
thought
man,
about that for a minute. I'm like,
I got a stomach bug.
So I got to carry the show for 2 hours
Got a
while Muso
stomach
sits
bug.
there and talks about LSU baseball.
Oh, what are you talking about?
All kind of. I tell you, I got something to talk about.
Speaking of which, LSU baseball, we got Jay Johnson coming up an hour from right now.
We do.
Are we going to talk about him annihilating the transfer portal?
It's unbelievable.
Like, can he talk about these players yet? I mean, I think they have to formally sign, but my goodness.
I don't know how he's doing. Look, he's got to be just breaking them off. I mean, I wonder who the NIL guys are in Baton Rouge right now. Like, who's the Gordon of baseball? It ain't me.
I think you know who the Gordon of baseball is.
Well,
anyway, but so we'll talk to Jay Johnson in an hour from right now. We are looking forward to that. We'll have some fun 4th of July stuff, and I do want to talk about conference realignment. You saw what's happening?
Yeah, I got a little something. Yeah. Out west?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that Tuesday night volleyball game when USC is playing against Rutgers?
Oh, yeah. I got him in my sights. Trust me. I'm in my sights. For the most part, like, this was a...
How about UCLA heading out west for that that Big Ten matchup in swimming and diving against Penn State?
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
What about Southern Cal in a late November football clash in East Lansing against Michigan State in the snow? Idiot.
Is anybody even fans of those schools anymore? Like, who cares?
So good. Anyway. All right. Yeah. Well, what's going on over there? Yeah.
It was a good, last 8 days I've been on the road.
I know, yeah.
Shout out to the Sting Soccer Club, those 7s, Sting girls.
I never heard of them.
Yeah.
You talking about the Flying Squirrels?
Nope. This is Macy and Georgia's team, the Sting.
Oh, the Flying Squirrels.
They're going to be BVB next year, but they're Sting now. They had a great run at regionals, got to the finals.
All right. We're talking about the Flying Squirrels.
No, Sting.
Flying Squirrels.
It's the Sting.
They will always be the Flying Squirrels to me.
Okay.
That's the greatest mascot ever.
Yeah.
And I want them to be the Flying Squirrels.
Well, they were for a year or two, and then they moved on. But yeah, you can call them that. That's fine.
I will.
Yeah. So we were, we won state tournament.
Awesome.
In BD, and then got to regionals. We knew was going to be tough, but and the girls did great. I mean, they got further than any other girls team has gotten from Louisiana, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, and lost out to a Texas team, but they were better than, dude. They were just, I don't know.
One of them days.
Yeah, I mean,
Happens.
they played 6 games in 6 days,
Yeah,
so it was
happens.
one of those deals.
One of them days.
Yeah, so anyway.
The Flying Squirrels are going to rebound. They'll be back next year.
They'll be back. So needless to say, on the road a lot, traveling. And so I've kind of formulated this letter over my travels for the last few days.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Here goes.
Okay.
Dear Baton Rouge fast food workers, y'all are the world's worst. This past week, I was in Nashville for my daughter's regional tournament, where we were fortunate enough to make it to the finals, which put us up there for about 8 days. Actually, not about 8 days, 8 days.
In Nashville.
In Franklin, which is right outside of Nashville.
Pretty good spot.
Beautiful. Great
spot.
it's
a great spot.
Being away from home, plus traveling 8 hours up there and back, it's safe to say that we had a few meals on the run.
Yeah.
We did our best to eat as healthy as possible, but sometimes you just don't have much of a choice. Shout out, huge SO, to the Arby's inside the Love's truck stop outside of Meridian, Mississippi.
Let's go.
The beef and cheddars were fabulous. The apple turnovers, got 2 of them, crushed them.
So good.
Whole deal.
I love Arby's.
Oh man,
An
it was
Arby's
so good.
an Arby's roast beef with the barbecue sauce on it.
With the Arby's sauce.
With the Arby's sauce, out of the packet. Oh man,
I had 2 of them, crushed it.
So good.
Now, the cast of characters inside looked like something off one of those Netflix documentaries. All right? Full on.
That's a love truck stop in Meridian, Mississippi. What do you expect?
Look, it was overall.
You just know what you're going into.
I mean, it was. Yeah.
Respect, by the way. Respect to all of you.
Yeah. You can call it that. But the service couldn't have been better.
Great.
The young lady was polite. I could understand what she was saying. She even told me to have a nice day.
Okay.
I had a similar experience in Jackson, Mississippi. And believe it or not, the little burger joint in Tuscaloosa was pretty impressive. Our stay in Franklin, Tennessee was fabulous. The people were so nice, and the dining establishments were genuinely excited to have our group in town. I'm sure they acted the same way with everyone who came in.
Good. Great to hear.
We got back home late last night.
Mm-hmm.
Kids were starving, so we hit a classic late night spot in Baton Rouge that I visited for 20 years or so.
Louis Cafe?
No.
Waffle House.
Yeah, maybe. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not singling out this Baton Rouge staple because they are not alone. Believe me when I tell you they are not alone. But the service, the second I got into the city, was absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
They screwed up the order. The lady taking the order I couldn't understand a word she was saying. It was horrible.
Was because did you order through the little the microphone on the speaker at the drive-thru?
I ordered through what everybody else on the planet orders through.
Yeah,
yes.
it's like
no, it's not.
It's tough. It's like Charlie Brown's.
Well, then you need to fix that because it's not like that everywhere else.
Kind of is.
No, it's not.
Okay.
If you or someone you know owns any Taco Bells in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, you need to slap the piss out of them. Period. End of discussion.
That's surprising.
Taco Bell is the world's worst.
No, that's surprising.
Oh, they're bad.
Usually when I go to a Taco Bell.
Go to the one on Burbank.
That's where I go. Which one? The one by campus?
No.
The one by Traction.
Oh, my gosh. They didn't have taco shells.
Well, that's tough.
That's a thing that happened.
That's tough. Well, that's, supply chain.
The Popeyes on Burbank as well. Holy crap.
Yeah, Popeyes hasn't been good in about 25 years.
The Popeyes on Burbank couldn't be worse.
That's terrible.
And this is a true story. I once went in there, sat in line for 30 minutes because that's what you do at that Popeyes. You just know you're sitting in there for 30 minutes.
Blue Bonnet.
Yeah. And I think you're sitting in it for 30 minutes because I'm convinced myself that they're making the chicken fresh, right? So I'm sitting in line. I get up to the window and the lady goes,
"We're out of chicken."
We out of chicken.
We're out of chicken at Popeyes.
What did you just say?
We're out of chicken.
She didn't say we're. She said we. We out of chicken. Wait.
At Popeyes?
Wait.
You're a chicken place. You ran out?
We out
all
of chicken.
of it?
No. And it was like 6:30 in the evening. Like, it's not like midnight, like no chicken.
100% of the chicken?
There
is a shortage on chicken, though, for sure. Prices have gone up. I mean, there is a shortage.
You want to know why everybody goes to Chick-fil-A?
Supply chain.
Chick-fil-A ain't running out of chicken.
They don't
Let me
run
just say that.
No, they don't run out of
Okay.
chicken. You're right.
But you want to know why they all go?
But they're also closed on Sunday, so they only need a 6-day supply, and so not 7.
Yeah, but they have quadruple the amount of people going through there than do that stupid Popeyes, okay? And they don't run out. I'm going to tell you why they don't run out of chicken, Matt. And I'm going to tell you why people go there. It's because they say my pleasure.
Mm-hmm. True.
Huh, Paulie? You know what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down over there.
And it's not even that good. Chick-fil-A's not
it's
that
really
good.
not that
it's
good.
It's not that good.
No.
It's just that they're going to get you in and out quickly, and they're going to get your order right, and they're going to be polite, and they're going to say my pleasure, and that's why people go.
They read your order twice, right?
I can see a line snaked around the building back twice, double barrel, and still know I'm going to get through there in like 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Because they just...
You give them your order.
Let's go.
They read it back.
They're walking up to you with the little iPad, ready to roll.
Done. Then you pull around the corner.
They're
polite young man or young lady. Hey, Ryan? Yeah, that's me.
Just confirming this is your order.
Let me give you this back to you real quick. See if
make sure we got
you know what? I didn't have the salad. I had. You know what? Don't worry about it. We'll just
throw that in the bag.
Yeah,
you got it.
We got you. Oh,
on the house. Ice cream machine's never broken either.
Never broken. The funny thing is, other cities are like that at every fast food joint. That's what I just experienced.
Yeah.
I did it. I drove to some areas, some parts of our country where you would think it wouldn't be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was.
I think you just got lucky.
I need Baton Rouge to stop being the world's worst in that. Let's try not to be last in that.
No, it is bad.
That's it. Sincerely, Ryan.
All right, it's after further review. Popeyes ran out of chicken.
We out of chicken.
The chicken place ran out of chicken.
What did you just say?
I don't get it. All right, it's AFR.
AFR.
Oh, AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. So I had some friends in town from California. They came over to the house last night. So got off the show, they brought their kids. Kids swam. Adults sat, we ordered pizza for the kids and everything. Who am I lying? We all had, everybody ate pizza. We sat outside, right? Kids were swimming. And, we had there in the flower pots right there by the fire pit.
Dippledanias. Hey, did you have the mosquito, the Spartan?
Yes, the Spartan mosquito.
No
racket.
mosquitoes.
No mosquitoes. But my friends commented, they're like, those flowers are so beautiful.
What colors did you go with?
Like white and red.
Sexy.
I mean, they were, Erica bought them.
Yeah.
But,
good for her. God bless them.
But they just thrive. They're beautiful flowers. And because they were grown here, they're acclimated to South Louisiana.
So hardy, too.
They thrive
They
even in this heat.
They want the heat.
From Clegg's Nursery.
It.
They welcome it. They embrace it.
Give me the heat.
They
want all the
They
smoke.
rub the heat on their cheek and give it a little butterfly kisses.
And they blossom.
At Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Buy local, shop local, Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, rolling along. Slimba, who Ronnie Rantz will be here in just a little bit. By the way, 3 weeks ago, the last time you and I were here in studio together, you and Ronnie have been essentially spilled the beans that Drew Bianco was entering the portal and going to Ole Miss. So how long have you? So now he's in the portal, and I assume he's going to Ole Miss. So how long have you known that?
Probably a few days before.
Before all that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thoughts so far on this portal season here? Have you been following?
I have. The guys leaving. Wasn't very surprising, and I think it's probably just because you could kind of see that writing on the wall.
Hold on. Let me reset, because I don't think anybody cares. The haul that's coming in.
Yeah.
Like,
that is surprising.
How much better
that's surprising
is LSU with this haul that's coming in?
Yeah. It's surprising how many. It's surprising where the schools that they're coming from, too. You know, like the Tommy Tanks thing is not super surprising to me.
Why? I mean, he was a Florida, like it was known he was going to Florida State, and then Mike Martin Jr. got fired, and then it was kind of open season. Jay got on a plane, went to Florida, and was like, yo, bro, come on.
Yeah, come on. Let's do this. But LSU is a I guess I'd say it's not surprising because Jacob Berry came last year, but I know Jay did have a relationship with him. Yeah, I get it. The Vandy guys are surprising for me.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like Vanderbilt's produced some talent and put some guys in the league and had some first rounders. And, so it's not like I'm going to go upgrade to play, at a school that gets more attention. I mean,
both of those guys had lost their spots, though. I'm be really curious to see how they.
I don't think the shortstop plays either, by the way, that much. Maybe
Carter Young.
Yeah. Is that him? I don't know.
If he's healthy, defensively, he's elite. But he had a shoulder injury at the end of 2021. The bat never really came back, and it's been tough. But if he's right defensively, he's the best of the three. So check out, by the way, this is Thatcher Hurd. If you're listening, you guys see this. But Paul, pull this up. This is Thatcher Hurd. This is the kid from UCLA that they got. I want you to watch him and just tell us what you see. Because so for those listening, it's a point of view behind the catcher, and this is a scout's video where you can see the radar gun top left, and here's Thatcher Hurd throwing to the catcher. So I just want you to tell me what you see as a hitter watching this guy pitch.
Easy, clean delivery. I mean, some Mark Pryor feel to it for me. Big righty. I don't know how big is he. He looks
6'4", 200.
Yeah, he looks big like Pryor. Yeah, I mean, it's just easy, repeatable delivery. The breaking ball and the fastball are coming from the exact same spot, which makes it pretty. Well, that's a slider. So he's showing the curveball and the slider
with serious move.
Good sinker.
That went down and in.
Yeah, that's a sinker. It's a good pitch.
I mean, he's a 3-pitch guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, not lighting up the gun at 98.
But he sits mid-90s. Like, this is what you're watching here. I don't know when this was, but he sits mid-90s, and he can touch 97, 98. That was 93 right there for a put away. But his first 2 starts at UCLA this year, he went 5 innings, 12 strikeouts, 5 innings, 11 strikeouts.
Is that good?
Right. Like he was challenging Garrett Cole's strikeout record until he had a back injury. So if he's healthy, this is your Friday night guy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, look, and he's shown 3 legit out pitches. The overhand curveball, 12-6, and then a hard slider, which was really good. I mean, it was like 80, 82 miles an hour.
Incredible.
And he's got a great name, Thatcher Hurd.
H-U-R-D.
100% going to be a Sigma Chi. Definitely does keg stands. Can't wait to see him at the exchange with the Tri-Delts. This guy, if that's not a frat name, I don't know what is.
But he's from California. You think still? Okay.
He's probably got some roots down.
Okay,
yeah.
we'll see.
I mean, that's a strong frat name.
All right, Dave, we're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. You think he drives a Volkswagen?
No, he drives a Jaguar. His dad's
No,
Jag.
you're right. But if you want to drive luxury without the cost, go see our friends at South Point Volkswagen. If there's a vehicle that you're looking for that they don't have on the lot or online right now, they'll find it for you. Just go to southpointvw.com or walk into South Point Volkswagen. Go talk to Mr. Bill or any of the great sales folks over there at South Point Volkswagen. They do a great job of creating buying atmosphere. You never feel pressured. They're just going to get you the vehicle you want at a fair price. South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. 9 IIHS top safety picks, the safest vehicles on the road. South Point Volkswagen. southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
Hey, Macy's going to be driving soon. I mean, do you think we need to go over there and talk to Bill?
I think
Mr. Bill?
I think you should put Macy in a Tiguan.
A Tiguan.
I do.
All right.
I absolutely do, yes. I'm not even joking.
Well, see if you can give me a good deal on a Tiguan.
I can certainly do that for you. All right. And if you don't go over there, you can kick rocks. Ooh, she was on it.
It's now time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
She was way
Presented by Roto-Rooter Plumbing.
You don't have to worry about weed or anything at 420.
I
Like,
know. Look what time looking at. Kick rocks.
Moose would just be hitting it right now. He's
Oh, yeah.
starting to
We've
feel
got
good.
rocks. You know what to do.
In that case, then Matt's going to have to kick rocks.
Now let's see if Ryan Theriot actually prepared for this week's segment.
I'm going to tell myself to kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
That 420 crew's starting to rock right about now.
Yes, on the boat. Oh, man. I'm sure you've seen this. Casey Close. You saw the deal with Freddie Freeman and all that?
No.
Okay, so Freddie Freeman, first baseman for the Braves last year.
Yeah, he's with the Dodgers now.
Really good player. With the
with
Dodgers.
his agent,
His
everything.
agent.
Yeah.
Staple in Atlanta. Won the World Series. Huge white teeth. Looks like Buzz off of Home Alone a little bit. Get some vibes on that. But yeah, he does.
Thinner, though.
Thinner.
When Buzz gets older and loses weight,
it's him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yes,
Super
good point.
white
Good
teeth.
one. Good
Hell of a player.
Yeah, good one.
But he's Mr. Atlanta. I thought for sure he was going back to Atlanta. Lo and behold, the evil empire in L.A. lured him out there. Signs a 6-year, 190 or something like that.
Gave him some moolah.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at him. Go get paid. But it came out earlier this week that Casey Close withheld the Braves' final offer from him. He found that out when the Dodgers went to play Atlanta and he got his World Series ring. It was pretty emotional, tears, whole deal. And then so Freddie promptly fires Excel and Casey Close for not getting, as he should have.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, since that news came out, Derek Jeter, Excel, the company, they've all come out to defend Casey Close, said he's a good guy and all that. All of y'all can kick rocks.
Can I ask a question?
Get on down
Legit.
the road and kick rocks.
Is there a disclosure clause? Like, is he legally obligated to disclose an offer to his client?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think he is. I mean, but I think that's
Because,
just
like, in real estate, for example, if I think this is true. If I'm representing you, like I'm a realtor representing you, and you own a home and someone makes an offer on your home, like even if it's a crappy offer, like I'm still legally obligated to disclose that offer to you.
Yeah.
Right?
But that industry, you can fire the agent at any moment. You know what I mean? Like there's not a contract saying Casey's going to do my contract for this year and you sign a deal with him. Like you could get to the closing table. That's not the case in real estate. You could get to the closing table and say, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to hire Matt to be my agent because I want him to get that money. And then those guys are just out of luck.
See how much that when you reached across the bat right there? When the light hit the ice, it twinkle and glisten. Look at that watch. My goodness. Oh.
I can talk about it for a second.
I'm blinded.
If you want to
blinded here by the wow.
This is
Did you get that in Chinatown?
Nah, this is a Breitling. This is a 3 of 46 special edition national championship watch issued by the St. Louis Cardinals. My bad.
A national championship?
A world championship. You can hold that. Just get a little weight on that thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out St. Louis.
Oh my God! It's got the red hue to it.
Yeah, it's good.
It doesn't say St. Louis on it though.
Well, look at the yeah.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Wow! It says oh look, Theriot.
Mm-hmm.
That's your number. Theriot 3, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you wear 3 in St. Louis?
Yeah.
Okay. Theriot 3.
Mm-hmm.
World Series 2011. We got to get this in clean. Bring this over to Lee Michaels.
I'll bring it to Lee.
And they will clean it for you.
Bring it over there
I'm
to
serious.
Lee.
Just bring it. Just walk in and they will clean it.
Is it dirty?
Yes.
I mean,
yes. Look at the underside of it. It's very dirty. Bring it to Lee
So-
Michaels. They'll clean it for you.
Okay.
They'll clean it for you for free.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
You should.
I am. So Casey can kick rocks, but you know who else can kick rocks?
You.
The Atlanta Braves can kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
This guy has been like Mr. Brave forever. You'd think somebody would have picked up the phone and said, hey, dude, this is what we're like. Let's make this work. Let's make this happen.
We want you here.
We want you. Yeah.
He's a homegrown guy.
They should have called him.
I should have.
I think kick rocks.
All of them.
Okay. Kevin Durant can kick rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Kick
yeah,
rocks.
what a clown. He wants out of Brooklyn now. I don't know if everybody saw that. Wanted out of Seattle. They stunk, so I get it, but he did win 2 or 3 scoring titles, maybe 4 scoring titles. He left Oklahoma City right when they were getting ready to go. Like, if you look at the guys on that roster, like, it was coming.
Did you see this?
What is that?
This is the New York Post headline. Paul, pull this up. Thin man has no heart.
It's right. And that's right.
It's basically like Tin Man.
Yep.
But Thin Man. Thin man has no heart.
Yep.
Oh, my God. The New York Post.
That's what he gets.
That's what they do.
That's what he does.
Oh,
He's
my
out.
God. All caps. Thin man has no heart.
It's true. He can kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
And then last, USC and UCLA.
Yeah,
You saw this.
pretty excited about this.
Is this on the rundown here?
We'll get to it for sure. Yeah, but go ahead. No, do you? Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We're good.
USC and UCLA are leaving the Pac-12 for the Big Ten.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And it's dominating
Ready
all
for it.
sports media, but nobody really cares because it's not 1980, and nobody goes to the schools. Nobody even watches those schools where they're not good at anything, and so I don't know why everybody's talking about this. So I can kick rocks.
Okay.
Kick rocks.
Well, because it's just the next giant domino to fall that's going to create a lot of very serious dominoes.
But they're not any good at anything.
All right, it's after further review. A Slimbo, Ronnie Rantz, he wants to come on and talk about Baton Rouge Collegiate Summer League baseball.
Oh.
Probably.
Wow.
Rugerod.
I'm
We'll talk about. I'm sure we'll talk some LSU baseball as well. And look, I just refreshed Twitter, and there's a puppy video. Look, this is so. You know what? Let's make everybody happy right now.
Do it.
This is that is a boxer puppy as well. You know, I had my two boxers. Look, he's playing with a rabbit.
Look at that little guy.
Look, he's hopping around like a rabbit. Look, he's hopping like a rabbit. Watch. Look, there he goes.
Oh, he wants to be a rabbit.
That's so. Look, you know what? You know what makes people after we do kick rocks and you're so angry at everything right now?
Yeah,
you know what makes people happy?
Puppies
Playing with rabbits.
Look at that.
How could you watch a puppy playing with a rabbit and not be just really, really just melting like chocolate or butter right now?
They're best friends. Look
Maybe.
at them. They love each other.
They do. Boxers are the best. They are the best dogs in the world. I miss my boxers. All right, it's after further review. Old Rugeron, he'll be here next. It's AFR.
AFR.
We were talking just a bit ago about real estate and getting deals done and all that stuff. Guy who gets more deals done than anyone, Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's Darren's cell, by the way. You can literally text him right now and say, hey, heard Scone talking about you. Going to sell my home. Heard you're the best. Would love to work with you. I would highly recommend you do that. As a matter of fact, Erica and I got married when we bought our first home. Darren helped us buy that home. When we sold that home, he sold them one day, by the way. Helped us find the next home that we moved into that we're presently in now. Darren is our realtor and will be for life. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. If you are buying or selling, commercial or residential, if you want the Ritz-Carlton experience in real estate and results, you want Darren James. So, call Darren James. Get your home sold.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments.
As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades.
Every time I come around your city, bling, bling. Make it rain, heard about anything, bling. Every time I buy a new ride, bling, bling. Lorenzo's all you got, I'm a tie, bling, bling.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, we get to ask Ryan in about 10 minutes from right now. You got questions for Theriot. You can fire away. You can email me, tweet me at Matt Moscona, jump at the Bayou Forward YouTube chat, or text us in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Save that number in your phone, by the way, as well. It's a text app that I have on my phone. You can text me anytime. People do it very often. So we're supposed to start the Slimbo here. Not picking up. No worries. We'll plug along. Jay Johnson in 30 minutes. So to Jay at 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 24 minutes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But after we get through the intro and you yelling and Theriot and all that sort of stuff, it'll probably be 24 minutes. I do want to talk to you about realignment.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Hold on.
Got it. So I have a list here.
Okay. Oh, man. You do have a list.
It's all of the Power 5 schools.
Okay.
All right.
Like in the world?
Well, in the country.
Okay.
ACC, Big 10, Big 12, Pac-12, SEC. Okay. All right. I am of the belief that we are headed to a world in college football where there will just be college football. You're not going to have all the conferences. Like, they're effectively going to operate the same way that the college football playoff operates, that the college basketball postseason operates, where you're basically all one clump, like the NFL, basically. Okay. I don't think you're going to have the ACC TV deal, the SEC TV deal, the Big 12 TV deal. I think you're just going to have college football. And the powers that be are going to get together and decide which teams get to play, which have value, and then they're going to be in the big clump, right? And then the rest of college football, it doesn't really matter, like the group of 5 schools, like, Monroe and Lafayette, that nobody really cares about, will still get to play. They'll just go play their brand of football like they should have done always.
Like sprint football.
Yeah, go do your thing. And
like
God
club.
bless you.
It'll be like club.
And I hope you win. I hope you win all the games that you play. I love the Louisiana schools. I want them to win. I loathe the thought that there's 131 FBS teams. I hate the fact that schedules are dictated and we have to watch these stupid pay-for-play body bag games that are nothing but an opportunity to collect a gate receipt. I hate the fact that Central Michigan comes to Baton Rouge. Like, nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to see it. Am I right?
You're right.
You fired up to watch LSU and UAB this year?
No.
Yeah. Are you fired up to watch LSU and Bama? LSU and Florida?
Yep.
LSU and Auburn?
I am.
Yeah, because that's what people want to see. LSU and Florida State? Yes.
You got to give the people what they want.
Anyway. So I went through this list and I highlighted every team that's in. Like 100% you're in.
In what?
The new college football.
The one you're doing.
Because we're cutting from the bottom.
Okay.
Like, Clemson, you're in. Florida State, you're in.
Yep.
Miami, you're in, right? Notre Dame, you're in. Michigan, Nebraska, Ohio State, Penn State, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, Texas, UCLA, Oregon, Southern Cal, Bama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee, Texas A&M, in, right? Duke? You're not in.
Football?
Yeah.
No.
Wake Forest?
No.
Indiana?
Nope.
Northwestern?
Not now. No. No.
Rutgers?
Mm-mm.
Kansas?
No.
Kansas State?
Maybe.
No. Do you have value? Does Kansas State bring you market value?
No.
So the answer is no.
Okay, no.
Washington State? I already got the state of I got Seattle because I got UW. Washington's in.
Washington's in?
Yeah.
No, they're out.
I don't leave Washington State.
No.
Vanderbilt? No thanks.
No.
So there are some that I think are easy on both sides, right? So like there are schools that are in, there are schools that are completely out.
I want give me the ones you're teetering on here. Let's talk about those guys.
All right.
It's going to be fun.
Boston College.
In.
Boston College in?
Yeah.
City of Boston also. Okay. Georgia Tech?
Out.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think Georgia Tech's in.
Really?
Yeah. Louisville?
In.
Okay. North Carolina? In.
In.
NC State?
They're pretty good, though. In.
Pitt?
In.
Syracuse?
Gotta be in.
Why?
Big market. A lot of people up there.
But you've already got the state of New York. You got
Who you got?
Well, it doesn't matter. Does upstate New York and New Jersey matter?
Yeah. Syracuse is in.
All right, so
bro.
Syracuse is in. Virginia Tech, yeah.
Yep.
Illinois.
Has to be in.
Why?
It's Illinois. It's a state school.
Indiana? But you got Indiana and Purdue. And Notre Dame in Indiana. Do you need Indiana in there?
Indiana
For football?
No. I mean, they got big deer in Indiana.
Iowa, I think, has to be in. Maryland is going to be in.
Yep.
Michigan State is in. I think Minnesota is going to be in. But, man, you get to, like, Rutgers is a no, and then the Big 12 is the problem.
All right.
Because the current Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas are in.
Have to be.
Here's the problem. Does Baylor give you anything? You got the whole state of Texas already. I know they just won the Big 12.
Do they give you anything? What do you mean? Like
The whole point is the way that this will be negotiated. All right. Think of the NFL.
Okay.
The NFL has a rights package for the entire NFL with NBC, for Sunday Night Football, with Fox and CBS for the AFC and the NFC, Monday Night Football on ESPN, now Thursday Night Football on Amazon, right? The NFL negotiates right package for the whole league.
Okay.
Right now, the SEC has a rights deal, and the ACC has a rights deal, and the Big Ten has a rights deal, and the Big 12 has a rights deal, and the Pac-12 has a right, and they're all different, and so the revenues are so different. What's going to happen is the 40 or so schools that actually matter, that have brand and value, are all going to get together and then go negotiate one package that's worth billions of dollars, like the NFL does. And they're going to say, sorry, Vandy, but we're not giving you a share of this revenue because you don't add anything. Kansas, Wake Forest, Duke, Kick Rocks. You don't add anything to this pot, right?
Yeah.
Like we remove you and we don't lose anything of value.
Mm-mm.
So that's what's going to happen. So like when I look at Baylor, do I need Baylor?
No, you really don't.
Do I need Iowa State?
Do you need Texas A&M?
Yes.
Okay. Because then you need Baylor too.
I don't think you do because you're talking about with Texas A&M, 50,000, 60,000 undergrads, billionaire donors and boosters. They're in. That's like
they're in.
They have a brand. They're in. They play that level of football. Of course they're in. But Baylor and Texas Tech and TCU, I don't think you need any of them. Iowa State, you don't need. If you have Iowa, you don't need Iowa State. You got all the Iowa markets covered. You got the state school. Like Iowa State's like
I get what you're saying, but I don't think it's going to be 40. I think it's. I think Iowa State, for instance, because you just mentioned them, Iowa State's got to be in because they're good.
No.
Right. Yeah. I think they're going to
good. They have been the ass crack of college football for 50 years.
I mean, okay.
So they get a coach who can win 9 games?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. TCU.
What about
They've been good. Baylor's been good.
Who cares?
I think at some point it's going to have to come to the competition.
Cincinnati's been good. You want to put Cincinnati in? I got the state of Ohio. I got Ohio State. Why do I need Cincinnati?
That's not how you say it.
Cincinnati. You understand my point?
No, I do. But I would like to see Cincinnati play.
Why?
I don't know, because they're good. They were good last year. I want to see the game. I don't like.
And what happens if this coach leaves and then they revert to what they've been for their existence, which is a middling, piddling pile of crap that nobody cares about?
And you kick them out.
That's not how this works because you're going to have long-term contracts. Cincinnati.
I want to be the commissioner of that league.
Probably Greg Sankey, I'll bet you. All right.
You really think that's going to happen?
Yes, 100%, a 1,000,000% that's going to happen.
That's going to be awesome.
1,000,000% that's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. It's the only realistic end to this. Because all the SEC and the Big Ten are just going to keep cannibalizing the rest of the leagues to keep adding the value. All the other leagues won't matter anymore. They're certainly not going to be part of what's next. And so you just come together and create a thing, have a 16-team playoff at the end of it. You sell the rights to the whole thing. Everybody makes bajillions of dollars. And the best part as a consumer, because a lot of fans seem to worry about this, the best part is you don't have to watch the crappy games anymore. Can you imagine a reality where your non-conference games are Ohio State and Florida State and Miami or Southern Cal? Like, please give me that. Give me less of LSU and Central Michigan.
You don't want to watch them play Troy?
No, I don't. I don't need ULM coming down here and getting beaten by 50. It's not interesting. Give me something I care to watch. All right, Ask Ryan to wrap up the hour next.
AFR.
It is storm season, y'all. And with storm season, you know what happens? Power outages happen. And at my house, never going to have to worry about it again.
Ever.
We got a standby generator from Schutz Electric. They came and installed a Generac. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of companies that will install home standby generators. I'm going to tell you what sets Schutz apart. They have their own generator division. It's not just something that they do and sell the generator and outsource the labor and all that stuff. No. They have an in-house generator division. How you install the generator matters. And I've also learned permitting. They don't just come and hook one up. You got to get permits through the city and everything. Schutz Electric handles everything. Their customer service is magnificent. And something that really surprised me is the cost. It's almost like TVs. As technology's gotten better, the cost has actually come down. It's affordable. Financing is available. It's Schutz Electric. Reach out to them today. CESofLA.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit Garcia Did My.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Jay Johnson going to join us in about 10 minutes from right now. As I understand it, Jay Johnson's up at Team USA workouts. Trey Morgan and Dylan Cruz are participating. We'll find out.
So Trey got a hit the other day. That was good.
So did Dylan.
Oh, nice.
So they're making it happen right now.
Getting hits.
What's going on over? We're gonna get to Ask Ryan. Get your questions in. What's going on over at Bowie Outfitters?
Pistol Palooza.
What did you say?
Yeah, that's right. Pistol Palooza is going on over at Bowie Outfitters. What did you say? Yeah, pistols. We don't have a current end date for this thing. We're just slinging pistols over there at Bowie left and right. $150 on 9 different 9mm handguns.
Okay.
You heard me right.
Sounds good.
You can go in there for $1.50 and walk out with a 9mm handgun at Bowie Outfitters. And if you don't do that, you're just plain dumb. Let me take it a step further.
Okay.
Bowie did this last year.
Yep.
They sold out in a heartbeat.
One beat of the heart.
But over at Calandra, they've done a special bourbon.
They have.
The Bowie bourbon.
Oh, you want me to talk about it?
Have you tasted the?
I've not had it yet.
Oh my!
They did a bet. You ain't tasted it either. Don't act like you tasted it.
Oh my gosh!
You don't even like whiskey.
I don't, but I love this.
No, you don't.
I crush this stuff.
But I do love Old Elk. They did a collab. Calandros and Bowie did a collab with Old Elk. So there's an Old Elk barrel pick. It's the Bowie barrel pick available at Calandros. They collabed on the straight bourbon. So go check it out. Old Elk. I'm a big fan. If you're looking in that $50 price point, $50 to $60 price point, Old Elk is magnificent. So support Bowie and Calandros. Barrel picks are always fun anyway. So check them out.
Yeah, go buy them. Buy them all.
All of the barrels.
All the barrels.
Okay, let's get to some Ask Ryan. Ask Ryan, Whataburger or Chick-fil-A? That's from Sean.
What? Chick-fil-A?
I don't understand why people like Whataburger so much. I don't know if that's like a hot take, but people seem to say that a lot.
No.
We had Whataburger when we were in Houston, when Drew was in the hospital. There was a Whataburger right by Texas Children's. Had it once or twice. Erica got very sick eating Whataburger one time. It's just, it wasn't, and they raved it like they have spicy ketchup is kind of their thing. It's not that good.
It's not good.
Chick-fil-A
is way better.
TK asked Ryan, how do you know Jerry Sullivan doesn't have to worry about termites?
I don't know. What?
I'm not reading that.
Oh, come on. Just read it.
What do termites eat? Jamie Perk, ask Ryan, whiskey or beer? And if whiskey, cigar? Oh, would you whiskey or beer? I guess, and if you pick whiskey, cigar as well? Whiskey or beer?
Well, I mean, is the Bowie bourbon, is that a whiskey?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay. Lee Allen, cocktail sauce or tartar sauce?
Cocktail.
Corey Balls, ask Ryan, who he hates more, Texas A&M or Ole Miss?
Texas A&M.
I think it's actually Ballas, B-A-L-L-A-S. By the way, Mr. Toby Tomplay got a fireworks stand set up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where?
Highway 42 at Prairieville.
Buy one, get 10 free? Is that what they're doing over there?
Maybe if you mention that you heard us talking about it here.
I like fireworks.
Does the Super League wait until ACC TV deal expires? The ACC TV deal, you wouldn't know that answer. The ACC TV deal expires in 2036. So, no.
All the teams are going to be gone by then.
Likely. All right. All right, Jay Johnson is going to join us right after Sports Center. Hour 3 staring you in the face. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Roddy, bye.
Shaw!
Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. It is the 4th of July weekend, so a lot of people on the 4th of July weekend, they do what?
You travel.
They travel. They get on the road. You go to the beach. If you're getting on the road, make sure that your family vehicle is in tip-top shape. Shaw Bills, they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices. That's always a given. They will work deals to get you the best price possible on the best tires on the road. But they can also handle all of your vehicle maintenance. Need tires rotated, oil change, check engine lights coming on, brakes are squeaking, funny noises, smoke coming out of the engine, not good.
It's not good.
Go see our friends at Shaw Bills. ShawBillsTire.com with 18 locations in South Louisiana. Find the location near ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com for more than 50 years. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder Her doctor connected her to an Ochsner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Ochsner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting 3 trades today. The Timberwolves get Rudy Gobert from Utah. In return, the Jazz get 4 players and 4 first-round picks. The Celtics get point guard Malcolm Brogdon from the Pacers. Indiana gets 5 players and a first-round pick next year. The Kings get guard Kevin Huerter from the Hawks. Atlanta will get 2 players and a future first-rounder. With Kevin Durant now wanting out of Brooklyn, who's to blame for the team's latest fiasco? ESPN's Tim Bontemps says maybe no one, or maybe everyone.
I don't think there's a situation where you can pin it on any one person or say, oh, it's this person's fault or that person's fault. I think it's a collective failure across the board, and that's why the Brooklyn Nets are in the position they're in right now.
Tim Bontemps on Greeny. The Bulls have a new deal with Zach LaVine, a 5-year max contract extension, $215 million. Gary Payton II signs a 3-year, $28 million contract with the Trailblazers, leaving the Golden State Warriors.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right. You can't handle the
Riot Radio Hour.
Let's do that again.
Please, sir. I want some more.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Well, let's start the insanity. Giddy up.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar and Matt. Wedding. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Alondra Villarreal. A little muted there. And Theriot. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us on a holiday weekend. Hope everybody has an awesome, safe, happy 4th. We got another hour to do. We're going to start by welcoming aboard the head coach of the LSU Baseball Tigers, Jay Johnson. Coach, we appreciate a couple of minutes. How are you?
Doing great, Matt. Thanks for having me.
It's always our pleasure. What has the past 2 weeks been like for you since the season ended?
I'll write a book about it someday. It's been good. It's been very productive for us. A little hectic for me personally. You know, I'm very happy for Coach Fitzgerald getting the head job at the University of Kansas and Coach Kelly getting the head job at the University of Washington. So kind of been flying solo and trying to be as productive as we can. And, yeah, it's been really good.
Can we, and just for the record, because I really don't know the answer, can we talk specifically about the portal commitments, or do we have to wait till they officially sign and are on campus?
Yeah, I mean, most of that's all taken care of, but I'm going to kind of defer until we have them all locked in and all of that type of stuff. But we're in a great spot, and super happy with all those guys.
Sure. I just wanted to make sure, because I know in recruiting you can't mention names until it's all formal, so total respect. I guess my big picture question is, it's obviously been very, very productive. What was you had to have a target, a focus, when you started saying, okay, let's go rebuild this roster. What was your big picture focus as you started?
Yeah, I think in every position we just want to have Omaha caliber players with Omaha caliber character. And probably midway through the season, we talked with our team about trying to set a really solid foundation for what we were doing for the year and going forward. And I said the next year's roster is going to be comprised of the best players off this team, guys from the high school class that we feel really good about. And then we're going to look at where we're at and try to assess what we need in the transfer portal and have the best roster we possibly can. And obviously the draft coming up is a big component of that, but I feel like we're in a good spot to maybe withstand some losses and have the type of players that we need to make Tiger Nation really, really, really proud.
Coach, you've been knocking down some big names, obviously in the portal that we're seeing commitments pop up on social media all day long. But who's next? I mean, Mike Trout, is he going to be the next one? Fernando Tatis Jr., you're looking at Tony La Russa maybe for the bench coach job. You're pulling guys from the major leagues. You're pulling the best players in the country. What's the secret here? Honestly, what's the secret sauce?
Well, speaking of Mike Trout, I actually lost his recruiting battle when he was in high school. I did try to get him. I did a home visit with him. Looked a lot smarter nowadays, 15 years later or whatever it is. But, I think he's got some eligibility left, so why not?
That's right. He's got 3 years.
Now, I'll read that book, by the way. Coach, can we walk through numbers a little bit? And I guess the answer to this isn't really definitive until the draft and you know where you stand, but do you feel like you have a number of guys? Are you still trying to add more guys via the portal?
It's got to be the right fit. I mean, I think we've gotten a lot of attention because of the caliber of player. I think for me, we do everything by design and not by default. This is not just a talent grab of, a guy's out there, so let's go get him. It's got to fit into the big picture. I mean, we're not really going to recruit over Dylan Cruz. I think I'm pretty good with who our center fielder is. I'm pretty good with Trey Morgan and understanding that he's going to be in the lineup. Ty Floyd is a guy that we're excited about, and his development, his last 7 outings were really good. Josh Pearson. So there's some real solid contributors. I think Hayden Travinci, if we can get him healthy, it's good to have him. Alex Palazzo, get him healthy. So there's a Riley Cooper. So we kind of looked at who was going to be back, who we feel like we can get to campus in the recruiting class, and then tried to go, where do we need to get better? I mean, Jordan Thompson, I feel really good about him and the type of at-bats he takes and the improvements he made defensively. So we haven't felt like we had a good core, but we want to be complete. We want to be able to win any type of game on any type of day against any type of team. And I think the players you're seeing add fit a really specific criteria for what we want to do.
Coach, you're up there at Team USA right now, checking those guys out. You mentioned Dylan, you mentioned Trey. It's some of the other guys, also Hayden and Malazzo. Some of the other guys that we may be surprised with that are returning next year on this roster that haven't gotten a whole lot of attention.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Thompson for me is I just mentioned him, but he had a lot of clutch hits for us. And he was a guy that I love seeing him come up in key spots with runners on base. I thought he improved a lot defensively at the end of the year. He has a lot of versatility. I think you'll see a much improved player, next year. He's doing a nice job up in the Cape Cod League. I saw him play the last couple days. Josh Stevenson did a good job as a freshman, making a positive contribution that, I'll be honest, coming out of the fall, I didn't really see coming with some of the older players. Braden Jobert, I think you look at the Florida series and the Vanderbilt series, and that's 2 programs we're trying to catch up and pass again. And we won those series because of Braden. And so if we could get him a little more consistent, that's a very dangerous hitter, great player for us. So I'm excited about those guys. I've had a lot of success in my second year when we have a guy for a second year and there's a lot of guys in that category that could make a positive contribution next year.
How important has the brand of LSU been recruiting some of these guys in from the transfer portal?
Well, it certainly helps. I think it's not rocket science, kind of how it started to come together, and it's foundational when you bring a guy on a visit and they walk in that ballpark and they know the history and they know the great players that have played at LSU and the championship tradition. We have a really, really good starting point. And then if you outline a really good plan that you have for them, how they fit into the team, how you can help their development, it's a pretty enticing offer. We're not going to get everybody, but I like to say we're in the top 3 anytime we pick up the phone, and that's certainly been the case.
A couple more for you. Coach Jay Johnson, good enough to join us on this Friday. Ryan mentioned that you're watching the guys up there at Team USA. Notice Trey Morgan hitting and running without a knee brace. That seems like great news. Can you give us an update just on his health?
Yeah, he really chiefed it out for us during the year, and I think it speaks a lot to his toughness and his character, and had a good year. I mean, he was very productive, but it's really good to see. I think the time off was really the only thing that was going to get him back to 100%. He was pretty close at the end of the year to be able to go in without a brace. I kind of encouraged him to keep it on. I didn't want to go backwards on that, and he's obviously somebody we really needed on the field. So really proud of him, speaks to his toughness, and really good to see him moving better right now.
Yeah, I'm going to assume, so that means like he's not going to need surgery on the knee or anything like that. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Knee, any other, I know Ryan also mentioned Milazzo, and look, I mean, Gavin Dugas at the end of the season, obviously he's waiting on the draft to see what happens, but those guys, is it just time to get them healthy?
Yeah, for sure. We just kind of had some bad luck, and I mean, to win 40 games with the amount of guys we had missed significant time during what I would call significant time, meaning SEC play, I think it speaks to the character of the players that we had. They just kind of kept pushing forward. But, yeah, I mean, we didn't have one catcher that didn't have some sort of knee injury at some point in time. So I'm proud of those guys for chiefing it out. But this break is going to be good for Trey, for Alex, for all the guys to get back to health and hopefully really ready to go in the fall.
Try not to keep you up all day, but there's two more things I want to ask. One is, I mentioned timeline. Obviously, the draft has been pushed back. That complicates everything. I get it. But how has it altered the way you approach this offseason, given you got to wait till the middle of July, and, of course, the transfer portal cutoff was today. So how has that altered the way you've approached the offseason?
Well, I think it really it depends. And you look at your class, and then you turn on MLB.com, and there's like 8 or 9 guys in the top 100.
Yeah.
We got to cover ourselves. I think it's a positive where we've kind of had to wait and have no backup plan. And this is independent of the school, where now we can put ourselves in position to where you can withstand some losses. And I think it's going to lead to you're building your team a little more 1 year at a time, which, college basketball, the high end of college basketball had to adjust to the one and done model. And I kind of liken it to that. I don't love it because I take a lot of pride in developing players and all those types of things. But at the end of the day, commonality with the 8 teams in Omaha was they were very old teams across the board. And so we want to make sure we have that caliber of experience and high young end talent and put the best team together we can.
Coach, I hope when I read the book, there will be a really, really long chapter on how you managed to get Wes Johnson away from the Minnesota Twins. But I know you've spoken on it already, so I'll ask you sort of a different angle. Did you have a relationship there at all with Wes Johnson?
Yes. 2016 Super Regional. He was the pitching coach at Mississippi State when our Arizona team went in there and won. And then when he went to Arkansas, we played single games against Arkansas in 2017 and 18. So competed against him 4 times, and you didn't have to look very far to see who one of the best pitching coaches in all of baseball is when you're dealing with Wes and the caliber arms he was developing and staffs at those places. And so to get a guy that has the highest end major league experience and SEC experience and is on the cutting edge and front end of development is a big deal for our program. Huge deal.
I think a lot of people here are ready for February, man. Lot of renewed excitement. So we're looking forward to it. You're always very generous with your time. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes. I hope you get some rest maybe between now and the draft.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Coach. That's Jay Johnson. A couple of minutes with us here on AFR. We appreciate him. Let's react to that when we come back next, because I do want to get your thoughts also on a couple of – because he couldn't talk specifically,
right.
And I respect it. Until, I's are dotted, T's are crossed, when you're talking about recruits and prospects, you really have to protect yourself with how you decide. We couldn't ask specifics about players. We'll have that opportunity eventually, but I do want to react to some of that. We'll do it when we return. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. I tell you all the time, I love sharing great reviews from customers. This one was a 5-star Google review from David Haddock, who said, great people at River City's 1 Hour Air. Thank you for your honesty. JJ, all caps, I will never call anyone else to work on our heating and air system. When you've been doing it for 40 years in this market at that level, that's why you have more than double the amount of 5-star reviews than the next closest customer. And it's why you've been in business for 40 years. People have AC issues in Louisiana. It's part of living here. So call the best. River City's 1 Hour Air. Big yellow trucks and vans with a giant clock on the side. You can't miss them. They're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This one be the remix. Bad, savage life, drops a million, man. You already
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Are you feeling it?
I mean, this is one of my favorites.
I know.
You should have seen Georgia dancing to this song in the car yesterday on our way home from Nashville.
Really?
Oh, bro.
So this is what the Terrios listened to on the ride home from Nashville?
Well, no. I mean, it was generally a pretty relaxed ride, but I was getting a little tired, and I was like, we got to crank this up.
Yeah.
So I went some Boosie, some Webby, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah. I mean,
she put on Jonna's sunglasses and my Hudco hat.
Oh.
And she was getting it, bro.
Why is there no picture of the HUD? You're not wearing a Hudco hat today. You're saying little Georgie's rocking the Hudco hat.
She was rocking it.
And you're not, I mean, you got to always be promoting. ABP. Always be promoting.
ABP.
Like, hey, look, hey, you need a roof? What do you call?
Yeah,
Hudco. Hudco. All right. By the way, the Yankees are the new betting favorite to win the World Series. What do you think?
As they should be.
First time since July 24th of 2020 that Los Dodgers are not the betting favorite during the regular season to win the World Series.
Look, the Yankees are, look, it's a fun team to watch.
It wasn't fun last Friday when I was at Yankee Stadium. It was fun being at Yankee Stadium.
But you missed the no-hitter, and then you missed the walk-off.
Thursday,
walk-off, then the no-hitter.
4-game series. Thursday, Yankees walk-off.
Yeah.
And we were traveling Thursday, so I missed that. We go to the game Friday. Yankees lose 3-1. It was a boring game. Verlander, Severino, both were awesome. Don't get me wrong. Got to see DJ and Bregman, so that was really cool. A couple of guys I covered at LSU playing on a big league field against each other. As a matter of fact, DJ at the last, that was a ground out to Bregman.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the game we saw. And then Saturday was the no-hitter. We went to see MJ the Musical on Broadway.
How was that, by the way? We'll talk about that later.
Phenomenal. Yeah. And then Sunday we left, and that was when Judge walked off.
When did you go to Chinatown and not buy me a watch?
Saturday night.
That was Saturday night.
Saturday.
Oh, you went at night. That's your problem. You can't do that at night. That's a day thing. That's my bad. I should have told you that. It's a day thing.
You wanted one thing from New York. You wanted me to go to Chinatown and find someone selling fake Rolexes and to buy you one.
Well, let's go back a little bit. I've asked you to get me two things.
Yeah. One of them I completely dropped the ball, no doubt.
Well, no, two of them you did.
No, one.
Well, you didn't come back with either.
We're going to talk about the second one in a minute, but the first one, you wanted a shirt from the Final Four I was down there doing the show, and I completely dropped the ball.
Yeah, that was tough.
I should have gone out of my way to find one of the little tent stands.
Which wouldn't have been hard.
Would not have been hard.
They're everywhere.
Would not have been hard. Show ended. I threw my stuff in the bag, got in the car, and I rolled out. But I should have gotten you a Final Four shirt. That's on me. I own it. I own it.
It's cool. Yeah.
I own it.
And I gave you a chance to redeem yourself.
Yes.
Just because that's what friends are for.
Yeah.
And also, while redeeming yourself, I wanted you to experience something that I love. It's near and dear to my heart.
That is of absolutely no interest whatsoever to me.
And then we could have had that connection. And it didn't happen again.
Ryan wanted me to go to Chinatown and haggle and buy him a fake Rolex.
Yep.
So on Saturday, and by the way, it was Pride Week in New York City, which is it's a big deal in the city. Like they have a parade on Sunday. They block off like 20 blocks. I mean, it's very hard to travel about the city because there's so much congestion and a lot going on and events and everything. And we were on 55th, and our dinner reservation Saturday was on 12th. So we had a long way to go.
Yeah, that's a good haul.
Even I Wazed it, and it said 29 minutes. I'm like, no worries. We get the Uber. We were in the Uber for more than an hour. We were 30 minutes late for our dinner reservation. Still, we eat dinner, but we were close to Chinatown. So I was like, hey, I got to go to Chinatown to get Ryan a watch. So it's me and Erica, who, by the way, has plantar fasciitis and can barely walk. Like, she limps around a lot if she's not wearing tennis shoes. walking through Chinatown at night.
Yeah.
Excuse me. She's limping around through Chinatown. I'm looking anywhere for someone who will sell me a fake Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps telling me, this is not safe. This is not safe. You know, Erica.
It probably wasn't at night.
Yeah, probably wasn't at night.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. I went to go try to buy you a stinking Rolex in Chinatown 6 days ago with my wife limping around in tow, so I don't need any flack at all right? I tried to go get you your stupid fake Rolex. I tried. What else could I do?
I could get anybody to try. Like
what else could I have done?
You could have made it happen. You could have gone back the next day, or you know what? How about this?
I couldn't have gone back the next day. We flew out the next morning.
How about not wait until the last minute?
How
about go like during the day?
I'm sorry. We had a trip planned with a lot of stuff mixed into it in different parts of a very big city that is hard to traverse. I did the best I could when I could. We landed on a Thursday night. We went to dinner at our hotel and crashed. Friday, we had a full day planned.
Friday's the perfect day.
Fridays, we went to the game and we had a full day planned. And
what time was the game?
The game was at night, but we had a full day planned.
It's just an hour out of your day.
We had brunch reservations. We had afternoon plans as well.
What'd you do?
What?
You could have gone in between. You could have got up early, had breakfast, not brunch.
So, by the way, I did get up and I walked around the city because Erica sleeps. Chinatown was an hour away.
Who brings their wife to Chinatown? You should have done that on your own. That was the time to do it, that morning. You should have hopped in a cab, boom, Chinatown. Hey, what you got? Rolex, Timex, what is it? Louis, what? Come on. You should have done that, hooked me up. That was the day to do it. And listen, I'm going to give you another opportunity, okay? I'm not going to get too excited about it because obviously you're 0 for 2.
I got to go back.
Thus far. Unbelievable.
Well, what's the other opportunity?
I don't know. Something will come up, I don't know that. In your travels, you'll go somewhere. I'm like, hey, man, pick me up
I'm going to Austin. What do you want? Going to Austin next month.
What do they have in Austin?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'll look into that.
Brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEYE.com. It's the Williamson Eye Center. You want to see 2020? Let Dr. Blake Williamson take great care of you like he did me. No matter what your reservation is, what your hesitation is, Dr. Blake Williamson, go for that consultation. Maybe you're a little apprehensive about a laser. Maybe you're not sure if it'll work. Maybe you're worried about the financial component. Whatever it is, just go for that consultation. Inform yourself. It's worth it. To be able to see is an incredible gift. Something I didn't have for the majority of my life. I needed contacts or glasses. Couldn't see my hand in front of my face. But now, it's superhuman vision. 2015, better than 2020. Dr. Blake Williamson, he's the best at the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. So we talked to Jay Johnson in the last segment. If you missed it, catch it on demand at 1045ESPN.com or the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Really good conversation. Couldn't talk specifically about specific recruits. But we talked about, he said he'll write a book. And he described the last 3 weeks as quote, hectic. I'll look forward to reading that book one day. But he's done incredible with the portal. But what he's done clearly, there were 2 areas there, Big Bad Rye Guy, where LSU struggled this year. Starting pitching and defense. And he has gone out and gotten 3 starting pitchers. And he's added 2 shortstops via the portal.
Yeah.
And then you're losing Jacob Berry, so you're losing a big power bat, and he goes and adds Tommy White to essentially replace Jacob Berry. So
Tommy Tanks.
I just have a problem calling him Tommy Tanks, but okay. I'm going to say Tommy White. But anyway, what's your impression of how the infield will look? Jordan Thompson, Carter Young, Jack Pineda. You got 3 shortstops, and then you got Gavin Guidry potentially coming in as well, depending on what happens with the draft.
He spoke about Jordan very highly just now and has in the immediate past. We saw him go from struggling quite a bit to taking some strides in a positive direction. So I think he's going to be in the mix. I mean, anytime you have a guy that gives you, those late inning big at bats like Jordan has, I can deal with some of the other stuff. And so I think he's in the mix. I don't know about the other two. Do these guys come in here to sit? Were they told that they were going to be playing a position for sure? And how does that work? I'm not familiar at all with the kid from Baylor. I have seen the kid from Vanderbilt play quite a bit. He's got beautiful hair, so I think he'll probably get some time. Look, to have 3 shortstops in your infield, let's assume they all do well. They all swing the bat well. 3 guys that can catch a ground ball. I mean, that's a major, major, major upgrade in your infield. You mentioned replacing Jacob Berry, but you're also replacing Cade Doty. And so that's a 300-plus hitter with double-digit home runs the last 3 years. Is one of those guys capable of doing that? Probably not. Just looking at their numbers, I would say the kid from Baylor, I don't know about his power numbers, but he's the closest thing, offensively to a Cade Doty. So you're replacing some pretty big bats.
Carter Young had 16 homers 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Then he had a shoulder injury. If he heals up and finds himself again, the bat is there. It's been there before. You just got to get right. We'll see if we can do that this offseason. But I think you bring those 3 guys in, you let them battle. One of them's going to play short, one of them's going to play second, one of them's going to play third.
Sure.
Either way, you're going to be really good on the infield defensively. And then the big question that people keep asking is, what do you do with Trey Morgan? My contention is Tommy White's not coming here to DH. The same way that we had this conversation with Jacob Berry. Jacob Berry was not coming here to DH. Jay Johnson told you that. Like, he was going to be in the field. Tommy White is going to be in the field. So where do you play him? Most logically, you play him at first base and you move Trey Morgan to the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
This is Trey Morgan's draft year. He's not – do you agree with me that Trey Morgan is not going to be a first baseman at the next level?
No, I don't think the bat plays enough.
Wait. You said no.
Yeah.
No, Do you agree with me? Trey Morgan will not play first base at the next level.
I think he could, but likely no.
Okay. Trey Morgan is not going to play first base because you don't put athletic dudes at first base in professional baseball. So it's a draft year. He's got to go play the outfield. He's got to show he can play the outfield. So that's very likely what's going to happen. Morgan's going to play the outfield, and Tommy White's going to play first. And I'm not saying there will never be a day where Trey plays first or Tommy White DHs or plays thirds. I mean,
right.
But that dude is not coming here to DH.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing is going to be if Dugas comes back.
Yes, great point.
And is swinging the bat like a 5th or 6th year. What is he? He'd be a 5th year.
Yeah, 19 was his first year.
Yeah, he'd be a 5th year. Let's assume he swings the bat well, which he's probably going to, and then Josh Pearson's swinging the bat well, and then Dylan Cruz is swinging the bat well. Now you have
Dugas DHs.
Yeah, you have 2. Well, maybe so.
And then you say, what do you do with Braden Doty? I don't know. One's a lefty, one's a righty. Figure that out.
It's a good problem. Those guys.
It's a good problem to have, right? But with Doty, you have, or with Joe Bear. With Joe Bear, you got a lot of swing and miss, but you have a big bat from the left side who can
get hot,
damn near 20 homers.
That's right.
So you got options. Is the point. But that's the thing that man, I probably should have just asked Jay that point blank. I'm sure he's considered. I don't know if he'd be willing to answer it today, but is the Trey Morgan question. But you can't really ask that question without asking about Tommy White, and we couldn't talk specifically about Tommy White, so we'll get there eventually. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. What are you doing for the 4th of July? Let's talk about that next. AFR.
AFR.
Take 60 seconds. Remind you about the Baton Rouge General Hospital. brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org. That's the Baton Rouge General Hospital, expanding healthcare in Baton Rouge. Remember, they got locations all over the greater Baton Rouge area. They've got the Bluebonnet campus. They've got the Mid-City location. Of course, the Baton Rouge General Mid-City reopened their ER during COVID when our community needed beds and needed that healthcare, needed that space. Baton Rouge General answered the call. The Ascension Neighborhood Hospital with its own emergency room. So if you're in Ascension Parish, you now have your own emergency care. It's never been closer. It's at courtesy of the Baton Rouge General Hospital. And remember, of course, the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations. If over this holiday weekend you find yourself in need of urgent care, the Baton Rouge General Express Care locations are there for you. It's walk-in urgent care 7 days a week. You can check wait times on the app or the website, brgeneral.org. brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million
Baby boy the prince. Beat time on Cash Monroe. Extreme entertainment. This is the way I live. Little boy still.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, Ask Ryan in about 10 minutes from right now. Line up your questions as we head into a holiday weekend. Of course, no show on Monday. Our whole lineup will be back on Tuesday. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Certainly be safe out there for the 4th of July holiday weekend. If you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Brett Golf. Make sure you subscribe to the AFR On Demand feed at Spotify or iTunes. Search after further review. And, of course, the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. We're sitting here in studio during the break, and Bobby Marks from ESPN, we had ESPN television on, and Bobby Marks is working the trade machine, and they're doing superstar player proposed trades. And Kevin Durant, as many of you probably know, has requested out of Brooklyn. And Bobby Marks proposed a trade between the Nets and the Pelicans. So, what do you think? This is what I jotted it down as they were rolling through it. So the Pelicans would get Kevin Durant. And the Nets would get a haul. It's what it's going to take to get a guy who's arguably the best player in the NBA. Brandon Ingram, Larry Nance Jr., who's very good in the playoffs, by the way. Herb Jones.
That's your guy.
And the Pels' first-round pick in 2023.
And 2024. Oh, I didn't know you were going to. But your voice.
And the Pels' first-round pick in 2023. And 2024.
Mm-mm.
And 2025.
Mm-mm.
See, that's how I was doing it.
Mm-mm.
For effect. but you stepped on me.
Yeah, my bad.
So Ingram, Nance, Herb, and 3 ones.
No.
For KD.
No. And here's my thing. Like, who's to say he's not going to go in there in 2 years and request a trade out of New Orleans, right? Like, that's a thing that happens a lot with these guys, and especially with him. We've seen it happen. How many years was he in Brooklyn? 2?
Well, he had the injury years. He was recovering from his Achilles.
But he played for 2 years. I don't know that the Pelicans need. I mean, that's a lot, man. I don't know that they need. I don't think you can give him up. How old is Brandon Ingram? 24. And getting better. We saw him on the national stage. Played great. Larry Nance Jr. coming into his own as well. And then 3 firsts? No, I don't think so. I think it's too much.
All right, so Durant is under contract through the 2025-2026 season. So 1, 2, 3. He's got 4
more years.
4 more years on his contract.
44 per.
A lot of you are not going to like this, but I would do this deal. For a couple of reasons. Number one, the picks you can have. I'm anticipating with the quality of the roster, those aren't going to be high first-round picks anyway. I'll give up late first-round picks, at least one of which I was trying to follow on the draft machine, is one you acquired from the Anthony Davis trade. So, okay. Who's better today, Kevin Durant or Brandon Ingram?
Kevin Durant.
That's not even debatable. And Brandon Ingram is magnificent and on his way to becoming one of the best players in the league. Kevin Durant today is arguably the best player in the league. He's a scorer at that size, position, skill level, really unlike we've seen in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me arguably the best wing in the league, one of the best scorers we've ever seen in the league, and pair him with a healthy Zion and a shooting guard like C.J. McCollum. And remember, you'll still have Jose Alvarado, you'll have Jonas Valanciunas, you'd have a lot of the core that we're talking about. That team has a better chance of winning a title. Not just of being good and making the playoffs, but of winning the NBA championship than the team as it is presently constructed. You're still years away in building and hoping you hope Zion hits. You hope that Ingram continues his progression. Herb Jones is a very good defensive player. I think will continue getting better. Can you find a perimeter defender? Yeah. I mean, what would you really get out of 3 late first-round picks? I know with Kevin Durant, the only way you ever get a player like Kevin Durant to New Orleans, you get lucky and win the lottery, which the Pelicans have done. They did it twice with Anthony Davis and with Zion. Didn't work out with AD. Hopefully it does with Zion. Or a situation like this where there's an opportunity to trade for a player like Kevin Durant. He's willing to come here. So I know that's not going to be the popular. To be very clear, I know that's not going to be the popular opinion. I know most of you are saying, "Oh, you can't trade BI and Herb and Nance, and you break up the core, and it's culture, and Durant's a quitter and he's soft," and all that might very well be true. But what's your goal? Is your goal to win a lot of games and to get into the playoffs and be really good, or is your goal to win a championship? What's your goal?
It's to win a championship.
My goal is win a championship, and that guy gets me closer than what I have presently.
Who's the most valuable piece on the Pels roster right now?
Brandon Ingram.
Over Zion.
Today, yes.
Yeah. See,
he's 24 years old, and he's a proven all-star. Zion has played in 3 years collectively the amount of games that amounts to one season. And he's walking 27-10 when he's healthy and right and play. He's incredible. But I also don't know if I can count on that.
Right.
I don't know.
I'd like to put Zion in the trade over BI. I think he's Kevin Durant. I mean, he's a little smaller but similar body type. I think he's going to be Kevin Durant.
BI.
Yeah,
okay. I was
absolutely.
talking about Zion. I was like,
no, BI for sure. Brandon Ingram. And so I don't know.
He might be. He might be. But Kevin Durant is.
He is.
You know. And CJ McCollum's already 30 years old. You don't know how much longer you'll have him at the level that he's playing. So I want to reiterate, first of all, I have no idea if the Pelicans are even entertaining this.
Yeah.
I've said in every sport, you always take the call. You entertain anything that could make you better. But in any trade, if you are going to get something of value, you have to give something of value. And that's a haul, right? That is a haul. But what you're getting is a guy who's arguably the best player in the game. Arguably the best player in the game.
How old is KD?
I had it. I was staring at it. Kevin Durant is 33. Been in the league a long time, man. Played 1 year at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got...
I mean, is he at the peak or is he on the downslide? You know what I mean? Like, you never really know, I guess.
If healthy, he's still in his prime. It's just not... Brandon Ingram has another decade.
Yeah.
Right? But it may take another 2, 3, 4 years to get to where Durant is now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? At that pinnacle. If he gets there. You know, again, 100% agree that my opinion is not going to be the consensus. It is not going to be popular. But I'm saying which makeup is more likely to win a championship. Fewer questions, closer to the prize. It's a roster with Kevin Durant. I don't know that that's even debatable.
With or without Zion. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's still a question mark for me. Until I see him play a full season, you know what I mean?
And to be clear, I don't think the Pels will do that trade.
Yeah.
I don't. I think they have worked very hard to put the roster together the way they have, to construct it the way they have, with Willie Green, with the culture they have. I could be dead wrong. I don't know. David Griffin ain't calling me on the phone and telling me what he's doing, you know. But anyway. By the way, if you want to bet on what Kevin Durant's next move is going to be, you can do that at the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Really?
Yep, you can do it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's right there on the homepage of the app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. By the way, UFC 276 is tomorrow. If you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and you're a new customer, use the promo code Baton Rouge, one word, smushed together. Use the promo code Baton Rouge, bet just $5 on any fighter. Doesn't matter the fight. No matter the result of that fight, they'll give you $100 in free bets. Boom. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. That's at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Get yourself $100 free bucks betting UFC 276, regardless of the outcome. Just bet $5 on any fighter to win any fight, and they'll give you $100 in free bets right now at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Now the disclaimer. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP. All right, we got one thing left to do. We're going to do a little Ask Ryan to wrap up the week as we head into a holiday weekend. So got a question for Theriot. Fire away. Here's your chance to get it in. And then we will bid you adieu for the remainder of the long weekend. It's after further review.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouses.com. Rouses.com. So yesterday I was here at work. Erica had Drew at therapy. Found out some friends were coming over that were in town. Told you about. There was a few things we needed. We needed some bottled water, stuff like that, some cookies for the kids. So I got on the Rouse's app. Boom. Ordered it, paid for it, had it delivered to the house. It's that easy. Download the Rouse's app or go to Rouses.com. Curbside pickup and delivery options are available at Rouse's, Rouses.com. Need dinner plans for the weekend? Or if you're going to be grilling for the 4th, you need that meat to grill, you can get it at Rouse's. Or if you stink at grilling, no worries, order it from Rouse's. That's what we did for Father's Day. We ordered a gang of barbecue. We got ribs and brisket and chicken and pork and sausage and the sides and everything. I just went by like 10:30 on Sunday morning, picked it up, brought it to the house. Rouse's.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front to Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Friday edition of AFR, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. All right, one thing left to do, ask Ryan. Fire away, get your questions in. Ask Theriot anything about anything. Here we go. Dion Santiago, ask Ryan. Have you been in the lineup against a no-hitter or a perfect game or been part of one?
I've been in the lineup for a perfect game. Matt Cain.
Oh, yeah.
I've also been in the lineup for a no-hitter. Carlos Zambrano. Cubs versus Astros in Milwaukee because of rain. Of a hurricane.
Didn't you get taken out of the Matt Cain perfect game?
Yeah.
I remember this.
And I didn't ask out, but it was like, Bochy was like, hey, winning 7-1. Why don't you go take a shower, get some food, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll get half the game off, go chill out, drink a beer. And then he threw a perfect game.
Richard Bruce asked Ryan, what's the best steak you've ever had?
I gotta go with the filet at Gibson's. Pretty good.
Scotty Adams asked Ryan, would you rather be a scratch golfer or shoot 90% from three every time you play pickup basketball?
Scratch golfer.
Darren Bone asked Ryan, over under 10 wins for Thatcher Hurd next year.
Over.
Brian Chandler, toughest off-speed pitch you faced in the majors, who threw it?
Justin Verlander's slider.
John Theriot asked Ryan, who's your favorite minion, Stuart, Bob, or Kevin?
Kevin.
Connor O'Neill, how do you lovingly scold someone for purchasing a 30A sticker?
You just take it off their vehicle.
Matthew Alamon, Ask Ryan, World Series prediction?
Ooh, wouldn't a Yankees-Dodgers matchup be fun?
Be pretty highly rated, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Ask Bradley Abity, Ask Ryan, better holiday for fireworks, 4th of July or New Year's?
4th of July, it's cold on New Year's, always raining too. 4th of July for sure.
Clayton O'Callahan, Ask Ryan, when does mullet season officially start?
Oh, it's in. I don't think it ever stops, actually.
Christopher Merrill, Ask Ryan, what's your thoughts on Durant for Ingram plus 3 first-round picks? Oh, we just did that one.
Yeah.
Brian Williams, have you ever put your underwear on backwards and went the entire day wearing them that way?
No.
I think you would notice that.
Yeah, you would notice that.
Oh, gosh.
Your junk would be smashed up and then going up your butt. Yeah, I'm off on that.
Ask Ryan, Jacob Veed, why do baseball coaches spend time recruiting high-profile kids if they just go into the draft?
They don't all go into the draft.
Greg Tyndall, Ask Ryan, draft beer from a frozen mug or canned beer from an ice chest?
Probably canned beer.
Ask Ryan. Kirk Taylor, Ask Ryan, favorite firework, bottle rockets or artillery shells?
Bottle rockets.
Ask Ryan, what's your theme song on the show called?
I don't know. It's by Steel Bill, though.
Steel Bill, baby.
Steel Bill, baby.
Ask Ryan, should there be a curfew for shooting fireworks?
No, absolutely not. And if you think they should be, you need to kick rocks.
Y'all have a great 4th of July.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Michelli.com. 19 different locations across, 29 across 11 different states. They've expanded from sea to shining sea, from Florida, of course, here in Louisiana, all the way to California and Oregon and points in between. That's how you grow over 75 years. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Remember, they are ISO 17025 accredited. You can check out all of the products and services that they offer at the website at Michelli.com. They're our nation's largest distributor of scales. They're based right here in Louisiana. It's kind of incredible. Crops or luggage at the airport. You'll notice a little Michelli sticker right there. You know, when you walk up to the counter and you put your luggage on the thing, you'll see a Michelli sticker right there. Michelli Weighing and Measurement, but they do so much more. You can ship your equipment to them, or they can always do on-site calibrations. It's available at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. For 75 years, Michelli Weighing and Measurement.
Dad!
Kids have staked out their place at Ochsner Medical Complex The Grove, where more than 30 pediatricians and pediatric specialists are all conveniently located under one roof, so you can spend less time driving and more time keeping your kids well.
Yes!
It's no wonder kids call dibs at The Grove. Ochsner Health Center for Children.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for